Army, what is going on? It is Tuesday. It is Wednesday night. We're here one day late. Take number 5.
This would be number 5, I believe.
This is number 5. We had some problems last night. You guys that were here on Tuesday night know that we tried so damn hard last night to give you guys some sort of a show, and damn it, it didn't work out last night. The problem was, and we figured out exactly what was going on. Basically, on Tuesday nights, we get 1 or 2 shots to do this thing right.
I didn't know that until last night. I thought we could start and stop as many times as we wanted, but apparently that's not the case. Basically, last night we had everything set up. We were early. We were actually about 20 minutes early, so much so that we sat around here like, wow, this is unbelievable. We've never had this much time. Until tonight, where we were even earlier to make sure
that we were going to be good to go. So we come on here last night, and the stream started to skip out, and so we figured, all right, why don't we shut this thing down and try it again? And that was our second shot. So we come back, and it was still skipping, right? By about the 4th shot last night, we found out that we didn't connect the internet. We were using Wi-Fi. We were using Wi-Fi last night, and we have a shitty Wi-Fi connection. But it was kind of my fault. So we were using this shitty Wi-Fi connection last night, and then when we tried to do it a 5th time, like I said, we only get 1 or 2 tries to do this and make it right. The train,
good call on opening the window, right?
So by the time we got to the 5th time, it just wasn't going to happen. So we figured, you know what? We'll just do a 24-hour delay. We'll come back. We'll get everything fixed, and we will come back tonight. And here we are.
See 2 grown men throw a temper tantrum.
It was not a
As soon as we shut the cameras off last night, we both, exactly like we said we were going to, for the 3 of you that could still hear us without the technical problems, we said we were going to probably turn the mics off, turn the cameras off,
and just scream.
Look at each other and be like,
motherfucker. After we shut the stream off
that's exactly what we did.
I sat back in the chair here, and
we didn't move
like this. And I just sat there for about 5 minutes.
It was a lot of head shaking.
Sat there for about 5 minutes, and then, it is the most embarrassing thing when you're on live internet television and shit doesn't go right. Shit goes... the prank calls we can deal with, that's not a big deal,
Spilling the beer all over the computer, knocking the whole set down. These are things that happen. Not to me.
When new people... a lot of you guys tune in every Tuesday night, so you're used to our shenanigans, right? Our bullshit and our jokes, our stupid jokes. Like, Boone was telling me the other night, he says, yo, if somebody new is tuning in and they hear you say, what do you call a fish with 2 knees? A toonie fish. Or what do you call a dog with 2 legs? The jokes like that, they're probably thinking, these fucking
that's a bad
dorks,
example. Like
dorks.
Those are clearly, like, goofy jokes that we're, pretending it's funny, but I meant our inside jokes. Like, I can't even think of one off the top of my head, like .com.
.com, yeah,
stupid
shit like that, right?
People have never seen it. They're like, do these 2 guys think they're funny? You know what I mean? When in reality, you kind of are.
But then it's like, all right, if there were new people that were tuning in last night and they see shit like that, it's the most embarrassing thing. So we got everything fixed. Everything is fixed, and knock on wood, we are good to go here tonight. So hopefully it doesn't skip. And they're talking about a drinking game. It was so bad. It was so bad last night that we drank last night, and we're drinking again tonight.
Well, just to make an excuse, are we supposed to take a sip after that statement? Or?
There you go.
I
bought you one too.
Thank you. But just to make an excuse now.
Yes.
In case I suck as the show goes on.
Yes.
And going with what you just said there, we did stay up drinking. You went to bed at your normal time because you get up like a freak of nature at 6, 7 a.m. every day to work.
Well, I went to bed at 2 a.m. last night.
So that's late for you. Okay. I went to bed the equivalent of that because I went to bed about 5.
I know.
The sun was starting to come out when I was falling asleep.
You were up late.
And then the kids woke me up this morning, and I decided, fuck it, I'm going to get up because I had a lot of work to do today.
I was surprised.
So I got up at about 7:30, 7:45.
I was surprised. I go to bed. Normally, I go to bed between 1 and 2, and then Boone normally stays up till about 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock on average.
Yeah.
Last night you were up until 5. I get up at about between 7 and 8 every morning. This morning I got up at my normal time, 7:15, 7:30.
Boone comes strolling out the door at about 7:30, and I said, "What the fuck are you doing up, man?" Especially knowing that you only got about 2 or 3 hours of sleep.
I was
about 2 hours
pretty much
of sleep.
still drunk when I woke up too.
Yeah.
I went pretty hard with the beers last night.
Yeah.
And these are these big cheap. What are they? Molson.
The Molson's not a cheap beer.
Molson Ice, a cheap beer.
No, that's Canadian beer.
5.6% alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're tall boys, and I was chugging them. And you know, they say the quicker you drink, the more drunk you get.
Yeah.
If you drink in a hot room, you get drunk. You drink to a straw, you get. There's millions of theories, but chugging's definitely a legitimate theory.
I was surprised to see you, man. I was surprised.
We polished off the fucking, what was it, a 12 or an 18 of the bat bottles.
Well, we went and got more last
And we
night
got
after.
more.
Yeah.
So we were pretty drunk.
So, but yeah. So I mean, so
And basically the message we're trying to send everybody is to all the kids out there: drinking's really cool.
So listen, on behalf of Matt Boone and myself, we apologize for last night. It was a train wreck. We admit, I know I'm doing it again. I do it. You know what?
Get serious. This means fucking Ryan Clark means business.
I do.
We apologize.
All right.
Mean to.
No. We apologize for last night. It was a train wreck. We can come on and we can admit when a show was a train wreck, and last night was a train wreck, and we apologize for it. So we're gonna put on a good show, hopefully, for you guys tonight. And let's address this.
Gee golly willikers, we really
Gee
will.
golly willikers!
Gosh dang nabbit, we're gonna give you a great show.
So,
the beards.
Still here.
Still here.
We're
But
here.
yeah, we're doing our Wyatt family intro, and it's because we've got the big, gross, fucking hairy, furry, fuzzy beards. And
tell them about the beards. Why do we still have
well,
the
it's
beards?
a thing in November that they do. It's called No Shave November or Novembeard.
Right.
And what it is it's a way for guys across the country to show solidarity for a cause known as nut cancer. Prostate cancer?
Prostate
Cancer. I call it nut cancer. But yes, we decided to participate, if you will.
Yes.
And this is the result. And we asked you last night because somebody brought up the stem beard. I guess is another month where you're supposed to do the same thing. And they let us off the hook. They said we can go ahead and get rid of them.
We can get rid of them. So, this is the deal.
Because of the show not fucking going off as planned last night, we had to keep them an extra
another day. I know.
But today's it.
We were going to do it. Last week was our last show in the month of November, and we were going to shave the beards off. But we were so busy last week with Monday Night Raw and Survivor Series that I said, you know what? We need to one more week.
I don't want to out you on the air.
Is it banned?
No. Can I tell everybody what you said immediately after the show? I think it was the next morning, actually, after the show. I think it was Wednesday morning.
This morning?
No, last week.
Okay.
You realized something.
Yeah.
You don't remember what I'm talking about?
I realized something dealing with the beard?
Yeah.
I was actually gonna shave.
You said they won't know the difference. Our next show isn't until December or whatever it would have been, second.
I tried. I'll be honest.
And he said,
he's right.
I said, no, we can't do that. It's just 2 more days, whatever.
I tried to get out. I think it was the 28th or the 29th or something like that. And I tried. I said to Boone. I went to Boone, and I didn't specifically say it. I said, you know, we could probably.
He wanted me to say it for him.
We could probably shave the beard right now because WZR
he brought it up.
done.
He was like, you realize that our next show, our beards will be gone
Well,
by
you
then
make
anyway.
me sound like an asshole.
I asked if it was okay to bring it up.
I tried to get out of it about 2 days early, and Boone said, no, man, we can't do that. You at least got to go through the entire month. So anyway, but we didn't have enough time last week, man, with Survivor Series and Raw. But listen, there are millions of people in the United States, across the world, that millions of men and women in October, everybody wears pink, but that have breast cancer and that do have prostate cancer. So that's the reason we did this. It was kind of a fun thing for us to every Tuesday night. You guys could see the progression.
That's what I was explaining last night when we didn't have a fucking audience that could hear us.
Yeah.
I said that basically, I was trying to come up with because we used to do a radio show, internet radio show. Now we do an internet TV show.
Yes.
And with the internet TV show, I figured it's nice to do something visual. Let's play up something that people can see. And I said, how about we take part in No Shave November? That's something people will be able to follow.
And it was for a good cause. It was for a good cause. And listen, millions of people across the entire world do have prostate cancer and do, have breast cancer. So, everybody does this in October. They wear the pink, and then in November they grow the beard. The men grow the beards out for prostate cancer. So it's for a good cause. But next Tuesday night we're gonna come. We're gonna be clean shaven. We were actually thinking about we were gonna go
in a commercial break, and then we were going to shave the beards off, and we were going to tell you guys, look for something different when we come back from the break.
Yeah,
and
we weren't going to point it out.
off.
We were going to address it without pointing it out. Be like, before when we come back from the break, tell us if you notice anything different about the set or about the show here tonight.
Right.
And then just see if, I mean, obviously they would notice.
But it would take too long because you just can't take a razor to this. And by the way,
I thought you could.
I did. I
this
still think I
fucking genius over
what
here.
Am I going to get razor burn? Is that it?
Well, your skin will break out like a son of a bitch.
You beat me out too, by the way. You,
with the length?
Oh, yeah.
I had a weak head start, though.
But yours is still a lot darker, and it would have been even if you didn't have the weekend.
You're more of a light-haired, like a blonde, right?
No,
like a dirty blonde or is light brown hair.
It's brown hair. You got black.
Yeah, I got dark. I'm Italian Native American, so I got my hairy fucking. It's a hairy hair. But no, they say with I think it's redheads. Which Sheamus disproves that theory, but it's always been said that redheads and blondes really can't. Or gingers really can't. If they have freckles, really can't grow beards.
Right.
So I figured maybe that's what. But you got a fucking full beard going on there.
It did come in a lot better than I thought.
You got the mustache better than me right here.
Mine
doesn't connect that good. And right here. Yeah. All right, let's go talk about our
Let's show them one more time.
All right.
Not bad, right? But yours is a lot darker, right? Yeah, yours is a lot darker.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so it was for a good cause, and next Tuesday night we're coming back here clean shaven. Actually, late tonight or tomorrow, we're getting rid of these because I can't take it anymore.
I don't like sleeping. I can't take it all anymore. Up on your face.
Yeah.
I think that cut out, by the way.
All right, no doubt. So this is the plan for tonight. WWE SmackDown was taped last night in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yeah. They are taping Impact. They taped Impact last night. They're taping it tonight and tomorrow night. So we're gonna have Impact spoilers up on the website here in just a little bit.
New TNA World Champion.
TNA World Champion. Spoiler alert, real quick. Turn those speakers down.
Are you gonna say it?
Well,
I would just tell them where to go if they want to find out.
All right, TNAWrestlingNews.com. The spoilers are up on the website. New TNA World Champion crowned last night. So listen. I was
hitting enter at the end there.
Enter. Yeah. Good one.
I'll stop.
All right, so check it out. We were talking yesterday, right? And I said to you, I said, you know what, dude? Everybody on Monday night, they watch Raw. And you and I watch Raw. And everybody watches Raw. And then I feel like every Tuesday night, we come on here and we run down Raw segment by segment by segment.
As if they haven't seen it. Like we're telling them what happened.
We're telling them what happened.
They already saw it, yeah.
So I figured that gets boring, man. I don't even like doing it. I don't like running down segment by segment of Raw every week. So
listen, it's also said that with a radio show or a TV show, the goal is to kill time, right?
Right.
But what people don't realize is when you're having fun and you enjoy doing the show,
right,
time goes too quick.
Oh.
And 2 hours, it seems like a lot of time, right? I mean, you go watch fucking The Godfather. That seems like a long-ass movie, right? But it goes fucking like that for us here on the show.
Right.
And we waste over a half of that fucking chunk of time talking about a show that everybody just saw 24 hours before.
We're talking about like the primetime players against the Uso brothers.
Yeah. Santino Marella pulled the fucking green sock that he calls the Cobra out. And
so I figured this. Why don't every Tuesday night we come on here and we'll talk Raw and we'll do like the big opening segment. And then we'll do the middle, promo segments and the main event. And we'll skip everything in between, unless something big happened or something noteworthy.
Well, listen, we cover the shit we want to talk about, the shit we think's important. And put it this way, we have an open phone line. If people want to hear us specifically talk about a segment that we skip,
cool,
ring us up.
Call
us what you want to hear. We'll talk about anything you want.
So basically, what we'll do is we'll do the high points and the low points of Raw, and I really mean the high points and the low points, like not segment by segment. And then we're gonna do news. We're gonna take from Tuesday to Tuesday any of the big backstage or breaking news. We've compiled a list, and this week's list is huge. And we're gonna talk news. We're gonna go news bit by news bit, and we're gonna talk about it in depth. And in detail, and you guys can call up. So we'll do the high points and low points of Raw, and then pretty much hour 2 we're going to do all news and rumors, take your live phone calls, kind of mix it up a little bit. Of course, we're going to keep your rapid fire too, because we know that you guys like that. I mean, that's always and not only that,
we need to save a decent amount of time for that.
We feel like we always rush through it at the end of the show.
The idea is to do it in a rapid style fashion. That's why it's called rapid fire. But we rush it too much to the point where we skip certain questions or we just just say, that's too long to answer. We'll ask us next week.
So we'll do.
And then we never get there.
We'll do a news run. We'll high points and low points of Raw, and then we'll do a news run and do your rapid fire segments. We'll take phone calls in between, and that'll kind of be the new show format every Tuesday night. And I think that's a better idea. You guys can let us know in the chat room if you think that's a good idea, or if you want us to run down Raw. I mean, we're not doing the show for us; it's for you guys. So whatever, if you guys want us to run down Raw segment by segment every week, we can go back to that, but I just figured that we would try to switch things up. We're going to start tonight with changing things around a little bit. And just let us know in the chat room. WZROnline.com /chat. WZROnline.com/chat. Let us know. And, as far as the format of the show is concerned. And we'll kind of go with what you guys
I guess that's one of the rules in the drinking game. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Every time I say .com?
Every time we do the .com, I guess you're supposed to take 2 drinks.
You want to participate?
Let's fucking do it.
Let's fucking do it, brother.
Alright. We should take our drinks at separate times, though, so there's not dead air for fucking 10 seconds.
WZROnline.com
Motherfucking.com
/chat.
/chat. I don't like that dead air when we drink there. We gotta take our drinks separately.
WZROnline.com
.com
/chat. Get there, guys. Get in there tonight. Lots and lots of people in there, as always, tonight. All right, let's get some plugs out of the way, and then we will get into it, man.
Check it out.
Yes. What happened?
That's a plug going in the wall.
Yes!
No, you oversee it. Dude, I appreciate you giving me that response there, but obviously it's not even close to funny.
Well, you click the enter button.
Yeah, I hit the enter button earlier.
Plug
You do the
the
plug,
wall.
that's a plug.
Yeah.
Or if it's like a fucking bastard, you gotta like separate it a little bit, then fucking put it in. Or if it's one of those with the thumb on it and shit, you gotta try and find one with 3 holes. You know?
All right, let's get the plugs out of the way.
Oh, I knew that was coming. I saw.
Boom! Oh!
Explain.
All right, so
Don't hit me and not fucking explain it. Tell them why you just hit me. Why I didn't hit you back, basically.
On Monday night, we were doing Monday Night Raw, and we do the live chat room every Monday night. And
you want to see a bearded guy with a half flinch?
Boone came in there twice during Raw and Flair chopped the shit out of me, man. Actually, it was one Flair chop and then something pushed the chair into my leg or something like that.
I chopped you twice, but then later that night, I threw the chair. You fucking tackled me.
That's what it was.
So I threw the fucking chair at your back.
So I said, dude, I'm telling you, tomorrow night, WZR TV, I'm going to Flair chop the shit out of you on live radio, and you ain't going to do nothing about it, because I owe you.
No, I came in and offered it. You told the audience you were going to do that without me knowing. And then
right, and then you came in and confirmed.
And without even hearing you, I said, you know what, I'll let you get a fucking free shot as hard as you can on camera. One free shot to make up for the 2.
That's it, I'm done.
But because it's on camera, it evens out.
I'm all done.
I should point out, the fucking guy was wearing about 18 sweaters when I hit him, and it wasn't nearly that hard.
Oh, stop it.
Stop
it. So anyway, we're all even. We're all even? We're all even.
Steven.
Even Steven. Alright, so
we gotta talk about fantasy football really quick.
Yeah, let's
this was the playoff week, if I'm not mistaken.
We got No Shave November out of the way. Oh, snow tomorrow night. We're gonna actually
another chop. It's gonna show on camera.
No,
like that a little bit.
No more chops. We're even. We're even.
Roll up.
Alright, so we're gonna get some snow tomorrow night. By the way, you guys in the Northeast, I'm telling you, if you live in New York City, Massachusetts, it's gonna get very cold. Like midweek next week. We're talking the coldest day of the season, highs in the 20s up here in New York State, and snow in New York City, Philadelphia, all around the Northeast. By the end of next week,
check it out.
By the end of next week, cold.
That's because it's cold.
By the end of next week, there's going to be snow all over the Northeast. Cold air, snow. I'm telling you, by the end of next week, take my word on it.
I fucking love the weather, don't I?
So anyway, we're getting snow tomorrow night, by the way. Football. What about football before we move on to pro wrestling?
Somebody's got to explain it to me, because as far as I know, I got a fucking like a bye week without having a bye week.
No, you play. You play this week.
No. This past Sunday night, I had an opponent.
Okay.
And it was such a closer. I was so fucking excited to see.
It's back.
They put the opponent back up?
They put the opponent.
Did I beat him?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
You were 168 and he was 138 or something like that.
No, he was in the 160s before they took him down.
Well, you won. You advanced to the playoffs. There's a lot of people.
I was in the playoffs either way. You sure I beat him?
Yes, I'm positive. It was back up there today. You were ahead of him.
Real close.
He may have benched a couple of his players. It was the Rammer Jammer guys that was never playing anyways.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I play Rygal. Rygal kicked my ass. He had Peyton Manning this past week, man. He put up like 95.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning, one player, put up like 95 points. And then he had Eric Decker.
Yeah.
And if he had him playing too, but he had him on the bench,
He had Larry
got
Fitzgerald
crushed.
put up like 40.
Calvin Johnson. He had everybody, man.
Yeah.
I got crushed.
Murray,
I'll be honest.
fuck that guy's
But
name.
how often is Peyton Manning going to put up 90-something? That's crazy, man. So I got a rematch with Rygal, and you're playing somebody this week. Everybody else in the league has a bye. So basically, we don't have the byes because we
this
just
is the playoffs this week?
This starts the playoffs.
So if you lose, you're out.
You lose, you're done.
Forever.
Done for the season.
If I lose, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm done.
Fuck.
Done. So this is
I don't
it
like
in
that.
the playoffs. And some of the guys that have a better record than you and I do, they are, they get bye weeks where
Well,
they get
fucked.
this. I got Rygal.
You're playing Rygal?
Yeah.
You don't stand a chance.
What are you talking
You
about?
don't stand a chance.
What are you talking about?
You got
This
the
fucking
best team in the league.
So what?
You got the second worst team in the league.
What?
I'd say, what is it, Dino? Oh, no, Dino UK's got he's BWR Nation. You got the second worst team in the league, Jack.
Your
Sorry.
team sucks. Your team's garbage.
I'm above 500.
I'm beating Rygal. I'm beating
see.
Rygal this week.
We'll see what happens.
You ain't going nowhere.
Who do I play? Somebody in the chat tell me real quick.
Yeah, somebody in the chat room. I forget who you play.
Oh, Chicago Thunder, they say.
Is that who it is?
Fuck, he's good, too.
Good.
All right.
You're losing.
No, I'll be
losing.
It's close. It'll be a close one.
So,
Unless I got a bunch of guys benched. I hope I don't.
Lions, big win on Thanksgiving.
Big win.
Nice job.
They broke
Nice
a
job.
9-year streak of losing every year on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
They were 0-9 the last 9 years on Thanksgiving. And
Wow.
as you know, they're the traditional team on Thanksgiving.
They
play.
were 0-9, huh?
Yeah, they play. Dallas plays every year on Thanksgiving.
Yep. Yep.
So for the last 9 years, I've had to sit through fucking turkey stuffing and the Lions getting their ass kicked.
Yep.
Or actually, most years I didn't have any food. But this year I had actually.
You have a good dinner this year,
I had
man?
a great meal
Did you?
with some great friends, some great family,
Attaboy.
and the Lions kicked the booty.
Yeah, we had a good time on Thanksgiving, man. We the turkey came out really good, man. We had a 17-pounder.
Sweet potatoes came out
Sweet
good.
potatoes.
They were worried about that. I'm the only guy in the house that likes sweet potatoes. They ask me what I want. I say turkey.
Isn't there a
It's
song?
sweet potatoes, and then
Sweet
they
potato pie, sweet potato pie. Isn't there a song?
to me.
Sweet potato pie. Something.
I don't know.
No, but
yeah, they came
it
out
was a good
great
dinner.
because they were real
Good dinner.
worried. They walk on eggshells around me like I'm a fucking dictator.
I don't.
They're like, oh, don't knock on Boone's door. He'll fucking get mad or something. This is the shit I hear at least.
They have me knock on.
Really, that's what he's telling me this shit. I'm like, what do I do that makes me seem like such a fucking a tyrant?
Well,
I mean, it makes sense, I guess. But
you're kind of a dickhead.
I thought I'm nice. I don't know.
Well, you're kind of a dickhead. You admit you're a self
I could mean that. Yeah,
dickhead.
yeah.
You know,
I'm a self-dickhead.
you're a self. I'm trying to. You're a self-admitted.
Fish. Oh, self-admitted dickhead. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Self-admitted
Oh, absolutely.
dickhead. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
But we had a good Thanksgiving, dude, and it was good to have
Great
you here
Thanksgiving.
too, man. We're gonna have
Thanks
a good.
for having me.
We're gonna have a good Christmas too, man. So it's coming up. Hopefully, you guys, WZR Army, had a great Thanksgiving as well.
When do they celebrate in Canada? When it's Tuesday?
I think it's a week before.
Is it a week before or a week after? It's a week before?
It's definitely before.
Okay.
Actually,
I'm pretty sure it's a Tuesday.
Is it a Tuesday?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, it's about a week before, maybe even 2 weeks before.
It's Columbus Day, they're saying.
Yeah, it's
When's
two,
Columbus
3
Day?
weeks. I think it's 2-3 weeks before
Alright.
our Thanksgiving in the United States, and I don't think the Brits don't celebrate.
Second Monday in Canada. That makes sense. Okay.
The Brits don't celebrate. Thanksgiving.
I think it's just
don't
North
believe
America.
so.
I believe.
North America.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
because it was the Pilgrims and the fucking Native Americans, Indians.
Native American.
Yeah.
You're a Native American.
I'm a Native American.
So that's your main holiday.
I guess.
Thanksgiving.
No, that would
Okay.
be or no, Columbus Day is for Italians. So yeah, I guess that would be my main.
Well, Columbus Day. Why? Christopher Columbus.
Well, that was Christopher Columbus was an Italian, I believe.
Italian is Italians have their own holiday. Cinco. No, that's Mexicans.
Mexicans.
All right.
No, it's Columbus Day. They did a whole episode of The Sopranos about it.
All right, no doubt. So hopefully you guys all had a
I
great
learned my
Thanksgiving.
geography and heritage shit from The Sopranos.
All right, we do a Raw live chat room. If you guys want to come in, we put the audio stream up. You're doing play-by-play coverage. SCScoops.com and 24wrestling.com.
Yes, I need to shout him out. Michael Shallak, great guy.
Mike
my
Shallak,
boss.
we'll see you in a couple weeks,
Gives me
brother.
a bunch of money. We'll see him in New York City along with the fans if they're showing up.
Along with everybody.
December 14th.
Saturday. Not this Saturday, the following Saturday after
TLC
that.
weekend. Saturday that weekend. And yeah, we got some news about that show coming up later in the news segment.
Yeah, you're doing
Michael Shallak, 24wrestling.com, SE Scoops.
SEScoops.com. I used to own SE Scoops.
I didn't know that.
I gave it to Shalek.
Yeah.
But yeah, good dude.
It makes sense because like you have ProWrestlingScoops.com, which Matt Morgan reads, by the way.
He does.
And
Big shout out to Matt Morgan for plugging ProWrestlingScoops.com.
Cool.
Colt Cabana's podcast, ArtOfWrestling.com. I believe you go to there.
And we love Colt.com.
We love Colt.com. You can see the podcast. Yeah. Matt Morgan talked about reading ProWrestlingScoops.com. So big shout out to him. And then
he's got good taste.
You do a great job over at 24wrestling.com.
I do an amazing job.
Your columns, eWrestlingNews.com. You are
eWrestlingNews.com. I did a history of the TLC match. The tables out of the chair. I did that today. I did part 1 of my top 10 managers of all time today. Those are my 2 today. But yeah, I do 2 or 3 a day. Very well written. Very full.
You're working your ass off these days,
I'm
man.
trying.
You're working your ass off these days. So check it out. Check out Boone's work and WZROnline.com, the official home of WZR TV Tuesdays. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as well. Facebook.com/WZR Army, YouTube.com/WZR Archive, WZROnline.com, top navigation bar, social media tab, drop down menu. It's got all the links to Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. WZROnline.com, the official home of WZR TV Tuesdays, and I didn't stutter, baby.
Damn right.
Woo!
Can we do a show now?
We can do a show.
Hey now.
So, Monday Night Raw from this past Monday night.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City. SmackDown was Tulsa. Thank you.
No mention of Jim Ross.
No mention of Jim Ross, but they did one thing during the show. They gave a shout out to somebody, and they said like he was either the best announcer ever or the best guy from Oklahoma ever. And I'm thinking to myself when they said it, like, wait a minute, what about Jim Ross? Come on.
I know.
Like
they snubbed them pretty good there, bro. They snubbed them pretty good. So we're gonna do the high points and the low points. Like I said, we'll do the opening segment, things like that.
Real quick, because we just mentioned. I was thinking of JBL. Who made the comment that I was just talking about Oklahoma, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I do a series on eWrestlingNews.com. It's an ongoing series called Backstage Fight Stories.
Yeah.
And I just want to mention,
by the way.
Yeah,
awesome.
So I've done 3 so far, and it's basically a long fucking full story version of real life backstage fights that have happened. I did a couple on the show, and the fucking people ate it up. They're like, "Yo, that was crazy. I didn't know that."
Yeah.
So I did one about Sid Vicious and Arn Anderson, where they stabbed each other with the scissors. Both ended up in the emergency room. I did one about Scott Steiner, DDP, where Steiner tried to fucking rip DDP's eye out. And then this past one's one of my favorites.
JBL and
Joey Styles.
Can
you believe that? Joey Styles.
Joey Styles got him good, man.
JBL.
Got him pow,
motherfucker.
Man. JBL was
who would have thunk it?
If you guys want the full story, check
God!
Oh my God!
That was better than mine. Wow, that was good.
But yeah, it's over there on EWN, man. It's a great column where they were on the airplane, right? And JBL was, it was on an airplane. JBL, they were on their way to.
I didn't have that.
I believe it was a European tour.
I heard it was
they were on their
bar.
way. No, they were on their way.
No, they were for the tribute to troops in Iraq. I know that, but
that's where it was. It was an overseas, something overseas, where they were flying somewhere. Haven't done an airplane where JBL was fucking with Styles on the plane, pretty much the entire ride over there. Spilled the drink and was fucking with him. Finally, Joey got up, turned around, and just basically bit smacked him or punched him in the face. Punched him in the face.
The wrestlers were breaking it up, and fucking Styles threw a haymaker and caught him right in the eye.
And they said that Styles got the best of JBL.
Well, it was broken up real quick, but he landed the biggest fucking punch in the fight.
Yeah.
Fucking bombed him, swollen fucking black eye, cut. And they said the next night or the next week at Raw, JBL kind of had a big shiner, kind of was embarrassed, so he stayed to himself. Just kind of played on his BlackBerry all night.
That was good stuff.
Pretty crazy.
You got more of them coming up or what?
Yeah. I got a bunch more coming down the pike.
The pike. Coming up the turnpike.
Alright.
So let's do it, man. We're going to talk, we'll do some highlights here at Monday Night Raw, and then we got a lot of news and rumors. By the way, Davey Richards got a big exclusive for you guys on Davey. I actually spoke to Davey Richards. Today's Tuesday. I spoke to him on Monday. And
it was Sunday.
It was Sunday. It
Sunday
wasn't
night.
Monday.
Late Sunday night.
Late Sunday night.
You had to borrow the keyboard. You spilled beer on yours.
Right.
Oh, you're really spilling beer on computers.
Well, I needed the email, and then I got the number, and I wound up speaking to him, and I know there's two sides to every story, and Davey's got his side of the story, and I'm gonna give you what he told me, and I haven't put this up on the website yet. A lot of it's on the website, but exactly what Davey told me on Sunday night, I'm gonna give to you guys here tonight, and then we're gonna do an article on Davey.
You know what I keep realizing? They just pointed out in the chat. We keep well, that and it's Hump Day. We keep saying TV Tuesday.
Oh, you're right.
It's TV Wednesday today.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got a big exclusive for you guys on Davey Richards.
We'll never get to it if we don't finish Raw. So let's
do it, man. What do we got? About a half an hour. Well, it's 15 minutes on Raw.
Yeah.
Let's do 15 on Raw, and then we'll give them the list of news.
If we can't do it in 15 minutes, we're doing something wrong.
Yeah. Then we'll give them the list of the news that we're going to talk about. All right. That'll be a lead-in to hour number 2.
Little teaser so they know what's coming. And then in hour 2, we'll give you the full details. We'll discuss the stories. We'll debate them if we need to.
Pick up that beer?
We'll pick up beers.
By the way, get to that live chat room. WZROnline.com/chat. WZROnline.com/chat.
You don't listen to me, man.
Lots and lots of people. I know you hate the dead air. I'm sorry.
If I'm drinking, you don't. If you're drinking, I don't.
I couldn't wait.
It's got to be.
I was thirsty. I was thirsty,
right.
man.
Did you quench your thirst?
I quenched it.
All right.
It's
by the way,
you owe me one. You owe me one, bitch, man. You son of a bitch, man. Oh,
I'm like this the rest of the show now, folks.
Right? Alright, here we go, man. So, CM Punk.
Make sure I don't have a cigarette if you retaliate so I don't get fired.
I'm not going to retaliate.
Alright.
I'm going to leave it 1-1.
Hey,
I'm going to leave it
1-1. We'll see what happens.
And now I can't retaliate. Well, fuck it. So, CM Punk. You see that son of a bitch?
He's going to fucking shout and he said, I have my fingers crossed, motherfucker. Alright, let's do a show. I don't want to be worried about it all night.
Hit my titty.
Did you get the titties?
Hit my titty.
Alright.
So, let's see here. Monday Night Raw. CM Punk comes out and opened up a show, man. He says, basically, he talked about the previous week, he took a shot at Triple H.
2 weeks ago he took a shot at Triple H. He was punished last week by getting thrown in the handicap match.
You're right.
2-on-3. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was
and the whole, he took a shot with creative. Triple H is trying to be creative, creative meetings, and so he says, like you said, the reason that he was in a handicap match last week on Raw is because he took the shot at Triple H the week before, and that's Triple H's way of basically punishing him.
Yeah, in a storyline fashion. But.
Right. So, Stephanie McMahon, she comes out, right?
Yeah, she does. She look good.
A lot of makeup. So, Stephanie comes out, and she wishes CM Punk a happy Thanksgiving, right?
Yes, she did.
And she said that
Punk's if you're looking at me for extra details, I kind of already forget what happened.
Punk's attack was Triple H wouldn't do something like that. Triple H wouldn't put CM Punk in a handicap match because they're beneath that, or CM Punk is beneath.
Well, they had a big discussion about authority, anti-authority figures, and Stephanie was like, "You're talking about my husband, who was one of the founding members of D-Generation X," kind of saying he was an anti-authority figure too, even though he's the authority now. Which is the actual name of his, faction. But
what do you think about Kane here?
This brought out Kane, and he did
the Kane, man.
The very professionally spoken promo, according to the bylines of like one of those kind of fucking nerdy things.
That was
interesting.
Cute.
Yeah, it was cute. It was with bunny ears and quotation marks. It was cute. We have a bunny, by the way. But it was
Kai Bones.
It was.
Kai Bones.
That's the name, I guess, of the blind. Kai Bones. But, so he did the cute promo, and then he ended up making a match. It was because it was already announced, I believe. Or no, this got announced later. So, no, he made the match for TLC. Shield versus CM Punk, 3-on-1 handicap match. So that was made official. And then later in the night, since we're not going the whole show,
they did Daniel Bryan.
They announced that, Bryan will face the Wyatt family in a 3-on-1 handicap match.
And there were original plans. The original plans were to do Daniel Bryan against Bray Wyatt in a 1-on-1 contest, and then CM Punk was going to face one member of the Shield. Yeah. It was rumored to be Dean Ambrose, and they did CM Punk versus Dean Ambrose on SmackDown. So, once again, creative plans are constantly changing, where they originally...
Well, there was even talk at one point, I believe, of Punk and maybe Big Show against Rollins and Reigns, I heard.
Okay.
So there was a couple of different ideas floating around, none of which were Punk versus all three of them, but...
Talking about doing CM Punk and Triple H possibly at WrestleMania.
You think they'll do it?
We put that up. Well, if they're going to do it, the seeds for that were planted the last couple of weeks on Monday Night Raw.
I think the bigger match is Triple H and Daniel Bryan for as many times he screwed him out of the title.
I would say so.
And all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But
maybe even a three-way? What do you think about a three-way? CM Punk, Daniel Bryan been tagging up the past couple of weeks, and Triple H has screwed over Daniel Bryan. Triple H is feuding with... Not a three-way?
No, I don't see that. But they like to do singles matches at WrestleMania.
True.
Or tag, because they're focusing on the vision. But, what was I going to say? Oh, it would be... I can't really even picture Triple H against either one of those guys at WrestleMania unless he suddenly gets like a fucking... a real business mindset going and thinks... I got to put one of these guys over, and I can't see him wanting to go out and job against somebody that isn't a super megastar like Steve Austin or John Cena or The Rock. I can't see Triple H saying, "Let me go out and job for Daniel Bryan."
I like your Daniel Bryan idea, though, and not only that, bro, but it's WrestleMania. You think Triple H is jobbing at WrestleMania?
That's my point. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, he might, but like I said, it would have to be against The Undertaker, John Cena, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin.
Somebody of that caliber.
Yeah, somebody who's been a star as long and as big of a star as he is.
What'd you think about the Bad News Barrett segments, bro?
Didn't like
Wade Barrett returned. He's doing the same thing on SmackDown this week.
Yeah.
They taped it last night. Basically came out and talked about just random shit.
Well, the good news is that he's got a new gimmick. The bad news is it sucks.
They
That's an example of what his gimmick is.
The good news and the bad news.
With my opinion mixed in there.
I sold it, but then when I thought about it,
it's pretty clever,
it was pretty good. It was very clever.
All right.
So Wade Barrett came back. We reported a couple of weeks ago that Barrett had his visa issues resolved. This is a good one. This is a good one.
Pretty clever too.
It was a good one.
Yeah, you burped and it was clever.
So he got his visa issues resolved here in the past couple of weeks. And,
he had a problem with his visas. He got them fixed, and now he's back with a new character.
You're an asshole. Man. You're an asshole. But yeah, I don't like this stuff either. He's out there with a little podium. Reminds me of the general manager thing.
Oh,
the anonymous general manager with the podium out there and everything else. So I guess that's his whole new thing where he's going to come out and cut these little promos once or twice during the show.
I wouldn't even call it a promo. It's just a one-liner. The good news is something.
The good news.
The bad news is something.
Eventually, somebody.
And then they throw a stamp on the screen. Hashtag bad news bear.
Right. And listen, eventually somebody's going to come out there and pretty much use your idea. The good news is something, and the bad news is I'm about to fuck you up, or something like that. You know what I mean? And that's going to lead to a feud between Wade Barrett and whoever that person is at that time. Daniel Bryan. Here's Daniel Bryan. All right. He's kidnapped the previous week on Raw by the Wyatt family, and it was either a caller or a rapid-fire segment here last week on WZR TV Tuesdays, Wednesdays tonight, where he said, you know what? Daniel Bryan's going to get kidnapped, and they did kidnap him, and maybe the Wyatt family was going to try to convert him into becoming or believing in the devil.
I believe he was already kidnapped, but the person that called speculated that once because they had him kidnapped, they were going to brainwash him and have him become a member of the Wyatt family, which is kind of what they're doing. They didn't so much brainwash him as they're like kind of kissing his ass and saying, we see the monster in you. We see you for the main event, big deal that you are, whereas they don't.
See, here's the
problem. Here's stroke his ego so that he'll join him.
See, you told me on Monday night you really don't have a problem with
Not anymore.
This.
I did.
Here's the problem I had. They kidnapped him, okay, and the WWE.com storyline was they put him in the trunk of a car and they drove off. So my feeling is WWE had plans that Daniel Bryan was kidnapped. They drove him off in the back of a trunk. Where is Daniel Bryan? The following week on Raw, Daniel Bryan comes strutting out, walking down the ramp. Yes. Dude, you got kidnapped last week. And I understand that at the end of the match, they followed up with, and they mentioned the kidnapping thing. But it was like, bro, you got kidnapped last week and you're coming out like nothing happened.
Well, here's what happened. I think you got to mix up a little bit. They didn't put him in the trunk and drive away. They kidnapped him and they left him in a trunk and that's where he was found, was in the trunk of a car somewhere.
And that was on SmackDown.
They revealed that on SmackDown. They followed, they talked about it on Main Event, I guess, and then on the internet during the sit-down interview with Triple H and Michael Cole, they referenced it again.
Okay.
So if you really follow everything, I guess it was explained that he was no longer kidnapped, but like, I agree with you in the sense that if they're going to kidnap him, do a week of let's see him backstage hung up and being fucking tortured or something to like make sense of why they kidnapped him.
Yeah, exactly.
But they kind of covered that with the promo, in that you get the impression that they're kind of fucking with his head, trying to convince him to come to their side.
And it's going to be a long, drawn out type story.
Or we'll see a TLC.
Yeah.
But I mean, clearly, at least they had 1 + 1 = 2, even if it was a weird way to get to 2. You know what I mean? Maybe it was like 3
there you go. That's
3 + 1 divided by 2 = 2, as opposed to 1 + 1 = 2. They didn't do the traditional thing, but they got to where they need to get. In
nice analogy.
It's actually a pretty bad analogy.
I like it.
Pretty complicated, but
1 + 2. But even if they fucked up the way to get to 2,
they got to 2. They just went there a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
If that makes any sense.
We don't watch SmackDown, so
no, I don't.
Because
I write the spoilers and I pretty much know what's happening, and I can't sit through another 2 hours.
Of pro wrestling TV.
Not when it sucks the way it has. Like,
yeah.
If I hear something good's happening, I'll throw it on and check. You know.
Right. So Daniel Bryan, he's fine, right? And he comes out, and who
do you think he will join the Wyatt family? He faced Eric Harper. Do you?
God, I hope not, man, because that means they're going to turn him heel, and it's like the fans, we talk about it every week on it, the fans want Daniel Bryan as WWE or World Champion or whatever they're going to call it these days, and it's like WWE is basically, I was going to say, bitch slapping him, or bitch,
you would have fucked my hand right in my mouth, that would have been bad.
Bitch slapping the fans, by not giving them what they want, I mean, it's basically saying,
they're going against the grain.
We know, and they're always saying, WWE, we deliver what the fans want. We give the fans what they want. The fans want Daniel Bryan, and you're doing everything in your power to bury him and not give the fans what they want.
It's also,
with this dude.
They kind of contradict themselves, and we need to fucking pick up the pace after we do this.
Well, yeah, 10 minutes I need to run down the news, then we're going to go
because then they say that, it's easy. Give the fans what they want. That's what we do. But at the same time, they're also famous for saying, we know what the fans want more than they do. Exactly. That's a Vince quote, supposedly.
Right.
But the bottom line is, the fans want to cheer Daniel Bryan. The fans want to see him have his moment in the spot. They want to see him. He's the guy that they're rallying behind. He's telling, listen, they say we listen to the audience and act accordingly, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the audience is telling them, Daniel Bryan's our guy.
We want him.
He's our guy now. Mm-hmm. Give him the spot. Let him be the guy for a change, and let's see, how that goes.
Right.
And they fucking teased doing it for the last 2-3 months with all these weird pay-per-view finishes and just screwing with the finishes. Bottom line is, I think he's got the beard. He looks like he would fit into the Wyatt family.
It would work, no doubt.
And this, in a very Triple H-y kind of way, if that's even a word, would be a perfect way to get the idea of Daniel Bryan as a main eventer in the title picture out of the fans' minds. Mm-hmm. They change focus on everybody. Now they're looking, is he with the Wyatt family? Is he not with the Wyatt family?
Not only that,
if he is he a good guy, bad guy? What's he going to be like with, it just changes everybody. They stop thinking about, why isn't he in the title
picture? Think about this, too. The Wyatt family is and has always been a Triple H project.
Yeah.
And what better way to try to help get the Wyatt family over even more than they already are than by putting a guy that, as far as the fans are concerned, is over with them. So if Daniel Bryan's over with the fans, put him with the Wyatt family, a Triple H project, and that elevates the Wyatt family even more.
There's 2 ways to look at this program. What does it do for Daniel Bryan? What does it do for the Wyatt family? Daniel Bryan is kind of a step down because he was fucking in the main event of pay-per-views for the title month after month after month.
Yeah.
Now he's in a fucking handicap match against a new coming up the ranks tag team. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of taking a step down. Mm-hmm. On the flip side, the Wyatt family goes from fucking around with Kane and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Mid-carders, high-level mid-carders. Are you about to chop me? What is this?
No, I'm not.
They're going from high-level mid-carders, blah, 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 to now they're working with a main event kind of a star.
Exactly.
So they get the fucking step
they
up.
Get the rub.
Daniel Bryan gets the step down. They kind of meet in the middle. But it's good for the Wyatt family.
It's great for the
Wyatt family. Which I'm kind of a fan of because I love the Wyatt family. I want to see them get more to do.
What did you think of Del Rio? Sin Cara returns, but it wasn't Sin Cara. We're going to talk about this in the news. Unico played the role of Sin Cara. It looks like Sin Cara is done with WWE. We're going to have more on that in just a couple of minutes.
I don't want to reveal too much. I don't know where you're going with it in the news. But from what I understand,
Sin Cara was told
Sin Cara's merchandise was selling like a son of a bitch.
Amazing.
During the European tour.
Right.
Which is why I think they had him
keep the character.
They're keeping the character, and why they had him go, because he beat Del Rio.
He beat Del Rio.
He actually beat him,
right.
which is a pretty damn big win. So I think they're going to not only keep the character, but they're going to give him a push.
Yeah.
Because of the merchandise.
Well, not only that, but
making money.
It's a different guy under the mask.
It's a guy they can trust now.
Why
they can push him without worrying about it.
We'll talk about that in hour number 2. Goldust and Cody Rhodes against Big Show and Shield. It's
great
like
match.
Every time the Shield, Cody Rhodes,
it's a no-brainer.
Every time.
Yeah, anytime the Shield's in a good match, or with a team that can, do what they can do, or carry their own at least, awesome match. Goldust, Cody Rhodes, same thing. Those two together, fucking great.
Another really good match while it lasted on Raw. The Real Americans and the Primetime Players. It was a pretty good match on Raw while it lasted. I wanted to bring that up too.
I don't remember that well.
And then to end Monday Night Raw, we had the contract signing.
Yeah.
CM Punk brought it up a couple of months ago, man. All contract signings always end in a big beatdown. The table gets flipped over.
Yeah.
Same thing happened here, man. They did the contract. Both of them signed the contract.
Here's what I liked about this. I actually wrote about it in my column at ewrestlingnews.com. That was my version of that. I was illustrating when I was doing this.
Yes.
That was my version. You can't, that don't even pick
Enter.
up.
You forgot e-wrestling news.
Enter.com. Enter.
Enter.
Yeah, I don't think this even picks up on the camera. Look. You can't tell I'm shaking my finger that
No,
much.
you can't. That's what we were trying to do last night, too, was work on the quality.
We were dicking around with that. But, no.
So what happened?
I mentioned in the column, and I'll do it quickly, that it's a title unification match. That's where all the focus is going all of a sudden. It's 2 titles becoming one, blah, blah, blah. We can argue that later.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line is people seem to be forgetting that it's also a TLC match. It's a tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Chairs, I know.
Which there's only been, I believe I wrote, this will be the 15th TLC match in WWE history.
Is it 15th?
5th TLC pay-per-view, 15th TLC match.
Okay.
So there's still kind of a not a rare concept, because it's been around since 2000. So 13 years, 15 matches.
The pay-per-view or the match?
The pay-per-view's been around for 5 years.
Okay.
Well, this will be the 5th year. The match has been around since 2000. So if you think about it, that's 13 years. They've only done 15. This will be the 15th. That's almost one a year.
Wow.
So it's still kind of rare. They haven't hoarded out.
Yeah, it is.
And they're doing it an injustice, or a disservice, I should say, by not promoting the fact that it's a big deal. It's a rare thing. But it's a TLC match, because all the focus is going on the unification. What I liked about the contract signing was that the whole point was to get over the TLC stipulations, because if you noticed, they beat him up with a ladder. Mm-hmm. They beat him up with a chair. Mm-hmm. And they put him through a table.
Oh, they did, too.
So they got all 3 of the things established. The table, the ladders, the chairs. So that was kind of what that was. So I liked it in that regard. But at the same time, like you said, they got to come up with some kind of creative way. And what CM Punk did was awesome.
Right.
Pointing out the obvious and then, doing the opposite. But they got to come up with something better than just throwing the table and then fighting. They got to come up with... There's got to be a way to do it in a different way creatively, I think. But the fact that they did it, the typical brawl, at least they established.
Well, and we have one more week too before the actual TLC. So there's going to be another Monday Night Raw where hopefully, like you said,
that's a whole other
they'll
issue.
Be able to.
The fact that they decided to do a rare TLC match, a fucking very rare unification opportunity, and they've only gave it 3 weeks on a B-level show like TLC.
I know.
Seemed like an odd choice.
That's the thing, dude. That should be on
right around the corner.
One of the big 4 pay-per-views, right? Even WrestleMania.
Kick off the year. This year we're going to start off by unifying our titles.
Well, and maybe that's the point. Is they're going to do TLC and then we go into TLC.
One champion. Yeah.
All right. So listen. Here's what we're going to do. In hour number 2, man, this is what we're going to do. Every week with Monday Night Raw, we're just going to kind of do the high points and the low points like we just did right now. Now, we're in hour number 2. We're going to give you guys a preview right now and with all the news. And then when we come back in hour number 2 on the flip side, we're going to run all this news down that we're going to talk about right now in hour number 2. So, here are the latest news and rumors over the past week. Let's see here. Davey Richards, brother. Davey Richards. Big news here. Ring of Honor, WWE. There's talk that Davey Richards is going to be heading to WWE. Supposed to be at the Final Battle pay-per-view coming up on December 14th. Is not going to be there. We'll give you the reason for that coming in hour number 2.
Also in hour number 2, we're going to talk about Triple H and the Big Show in a match that was originally scheduled for the TLC pay-per-view we were just talking about. The match got scrapped. Obviously, we'll tell you why in hour number 2.
WWE rehab letter sent out this past week, signed by Triple H.
tell you what the deal is with that in our numero dos.
Rey Mysterio was actually backstage at Raw this past Monday. He didn't show up. It's the second week back in the company. Why not on Raw this week? We'll let you know why.
Speaking of masked men, like Rey Mysterio, Sin Cara returned to Monday Night Raw. Was it really Sin Cara? Was it really not Sin Cara? We just told you a couple of minutes ago it wasn't Sin Cara. What's the deal with Sin Cara's WWE future? Is he going to be around in 2014?
Also, while we're still talking about Mysterio and Sin Cara, there's been a lot of talk about possibly having those two square off in a match at WrestleMania where they're going to try and attempt to set a record with the most fans wearing masks. Will they do it? Is that the plan? We'll let you know.
What's the deal with WWE Diva Layla? A lot of people have been asking about her status with the company. Is she going to be back? Got some exclusive news on that in our numero dos that may surprise some of you guys.
For weeks now, we've been talking about Hulk Hogan and his negotiations with WWE potentially turning at a match at WrestleMania 30. The latest twist in the story may surprise you. Will the Hulkster be teaming with the leader of the C Nation? Hour 2 tells the end.
Slammy Awards returning next week on Monday Night Raw. Categories, big names returning to Monday Night Raw next week.
Wade Barrett returns on Raw with the Bad News Barrett gimmick. We talked about it a little bit earlier tonight. We're going to tell you a little bit more after break.
What's the latest update on WWE talents Yoshitatsu and Drew McIntyre? Going to give you updates on both of them in our number 2.
Former NWA champion was at the WWE Performance Center this week, serving as a guest trainer. Which NWA champion, you ask? Stay tuned. We'll let you know in hour 2.
Michael Hayes returned backstage at Raw this past Monday night. What was he doing there? Why was he gone? We're going to give you the details coming up in a couple of minutes.
There was some major creative shakeups recently in WWE. Some guys were fired, some guys were promoted. A lot of things got switched around. Why? Who? When? Where? What? How? We'll let you know in hour number 2.
Bill Goldberg, WrestleMania rumors back again. Will he be at WrestleMania 30? What's the deal as far as money is concerned and a massive ego that people say he has? We're going to let you know in a couple of minutes.
Ryback has been in the doghouse lately, as we've been telling you for weeks and weeks and weeks. Apparently, Mr. Ryback was punished for something this past Monday Night Raw. What was he punished for? What was the punishment? We'll tell you in hour number 2, goddammit.
WWE Diva Caitlyn engaged over the past couple of weeks. Give you the deets on that.
And we'll also give you the deets on a push for Mr. Roman Reigns, the big boy of the Shield. What's WWE got in store for the big boy? We'll let you know.
What's the deal on Christian and WWE? Why isn't he back yet? What's the deal? When's he going to return? Gonna let you know in a couple of minutes.
One of my favorite wrestlers as a kid growing up was the Dynamite Kid. Tragically and sadly, the Dynamite Kid had a heart attack?
Stroke.
A stroke. I apologize. He had a stroke recently, so everybody seems to be asking how's the Dynamite Kid doing. We haven't had a lot of details up until now. We got him now, and we'll give them to you in hour number 2.
Major plans for the tag team division in WWE. Why you've seen so many tag teams as of late. Who's behind it? And what's the plan for 2014 coming up?
WrestleMania 30 will be held in New Orleans, Louisiana. How are tickets selling? I think you'll be surprised to hear how they're selling. We'll let you know the details in hour number 2.
Paul Heyman, what's the deal with Paul Heyman? When's he going to be back? What's the plan? Is he going to be at WrestleMania? And is Brock Lesnar returning with Paulie?
There was TNA television tapings for Impact Wrestling last night. There's more tonight. There's more tomorrow night. What happened at all these tapings? What's going to happen tonight, tomorrow at the tapings? We're going to let you know in hour number 2.
Speaking of TNA Impact tapings, Taz and Mike Tenay have not been at the recent TNA Impact tapings. Find out the reason why in our numero dos.
And finally, AJ Styles has been running around calling himself the TNA World Champion. They've held a TNA title tournament the last few weeks to crown a new champion. What's going on with the TNA World Heavyweight Championship? We're going to tell you exactly what's going on in hour number 2.
I got to tell you, this has been one of the busiest weeks as far as news is concerned. That list is a mile long. Normally on a weekly basis, We'll touch base on about 5 or 10 stories. There's about 20 different stories this week that we need to touch base on. So we're going to do that in our numero dos, guys. Stay tuned. We've got exclusive news on both Layla and her future with WWE. Some big stuff that I'm going to be telling you about. And Davey Richards, I spoke with him on Sunday night. Haven't put this up on the website. We're going to get into it in our number 2. What he told me on Sunday. Why Ring of Honor is pissed off. 2 sides to every story. We're going to talk about it in our number 2.
In case you can't tell, we got a pretty goddamn big hour number 2 planned for you. So you better stick tuned. You better get a cold drink, get a snack, be back in front of your computer. We got live phone calls from you. If you have anything to ask us, pick up your little telephone. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Dial 518, dial 712, and dial 3070. We'll talk to you live here on the air. Rapid fire. We would also like to hear what you've got to say, and we'll answer you in a rapid style fashion in hour number 2. The place to get involved in the rapid fire, I should say, is facebook.com/ Bryan Clark WZR. One more time, in case you didn't hear me, I'll repeat myself. That website address was facebook.com/ Bryan Clark WZR. Get on over there. Give us your rapid fire questions and comments. We'll get to as many as we can.
As we can.
An hour number 2. That close.
Oh, that close. All right, guys. We got a lot of news that we're going to talk about. You guys just heard everything we're going to run down. It's coming up in hour number 2. You're listening to WZR TV, normally on Tuesdays, with Matt Boone.
That's me.
And Ryan Clark.
That's him.
We'll be back right after this, fellas. Here for our numero 2. Did you guys see the bunny rabbit? We tried to give you guys a little entertainment during the commercial break. We had the Kai Bunny run back and
bunny
forth.
for real? I know you have a nickname.
Kai.
It's Kai.
Kai.
Or you said something earlier, like Kai the man or some shit.
Kai boy.
Kai boy.
Kai boy. My cowboy.
Alright, I just screwed up the fucking fade down so bad.
That was a bad. That's our only screw up tonight, though, right?
That's not a screw up per se. I just like to have a nice fancy slight fade down, and my fucking finger jittered right when I was the volume.
You know, the internet was the problem last night, right? And then when we got the internet fixed, I was trying to tell you that it was too late with the start, reboot, stop, reboot, you know?
Read that comment real quick.
What?
Crazy but lovable, the very last one.
Crazy but lovable. I walked in on a bunny and I thought I was high on acid.
So they did see the bunny rabbit.
Yeah, that's little Kai, man.
Well, they tell us out in the his sister lives with us and her kids, and they have a pit bull and a bunny, all of which have been on the show. At one point.
Yeah, they've all made
appearances. Take the bunny in, and Ryan just on the spot doesn't even tell me. He just walks in with the bunny, and I'm thinking, what the fuck is he doing? We're on commercial. He doesn't say a word. He looks at me. He says, "Shh." Basically telling me, we're not going back yet. We're not going to say anything. We're not making a
silly rabbit.
Set the bunny right on here on our desk here, and let him hop right in front of the camera.
And then I'm thinking, fuck, he's going to chew the cords, or he's going to
knock the microphone over. He's going to run, get stuck somewhere, and we're going to look like idiots. But it actually worked out perfectly.
So here we are.
Pretty cool. It was an acid trip kind of a moment.
Yeah, no doubt.
Not that I would know anything about
you know what?
Trips.
It's a Wednesday night. So I'm thinking a lot of people aren't here tonight. I mean, the chat room's not as full as it normally is because everybody gets used to. Even the T-shirts here say 8 to 10 Tuesday night.
Here's the perfect exactly, and the perfect example of that. I get freaked out every single week without fail. 5 minutes before we go on the air, I'm like, where the fuck is everybody? The numbers usually suck.
And they all come right at 8.
Without fail. 7:59, nothing. 8 o'clock, boom! Like a fucking bomb goes off.
It is crazy.
They rush in all at the same
Everybody
time.
comes to the chat.
It's insane.
Everybody hits the stream.
It's just literally like a TV show. When you see the ratings, like the lead-in does a 3.
Right,
and the show that it's leading into does an 8. And you're like, wow, that means literally in the matter of a minute, 5 million people click the remotes on the TVs. I think I spit a little bit.
Well, you know what it is,
Click
dude?
the remotes on the TV.
It's exactly like you said with Raw on Monday, right? Everybody knows that Raw comes on at 8 o'clock Eastern time. If you're on the East Coast, obviously. 8 o'clock every Monday night, Raw starts. It's the same thing where people get in this routine of every Tuesday night. I mean, there's people, I see them in the chat room week after week saying, I take off Tuesday night at work
Yeah.
I don't work on Tuesdays.
There's people,
so that I
a
can
lot of people listen
show.
to us in the UK, and how did I get the squeaky fucking chair all of a sudden? But
you want a new one? I can
I'm living with it, but I didn't hear it in the first hour. But no, a lot of people live in the UK, and I don't know the time difference. I believe it's like 5 hours.
It's about 5
so
hours.
I believe that means it would be 1.
When we go off the air here, it's 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's 1:15. Quarter after 1.
3.
Quarter after 1 in the morning right now, I believe.
Right.
No, wait. 9 o'clock plus 5. No, that would be that's 2:15.
2:15. When we go off the air, man, it's about 3 a.m. over there by the time we go off the air.
Yeah, exactly. And like I'd say
crazy.
a good 50-60% of our audience is from Europe somewhere, or England somewhere, wherever the fuck.
There are people. It's crazy to think.
Up.
It's crazy to think that people stay up that late.
They stay up like a penis on Viagra.
Where'd you get that one, bro?
It's just
I like that. A penis on Viagra. He stays
They call that wit. I don't know.
I like that. All right. So here's the deal, man. We're gonna give you about 15-20 minutes for rapid fire, and then like we normally do
right here at WZROnline.com.
Go
ahead. And then we're gonna stay here a little bit later if we need to, as he was just saying.
Fucking good
beer. And after we stay later, what are we gonna do, Ryan? Go ahead and tell them.
Well, if we have to run a little bit late because there's no SmackDown tapings, just after we got done saying that to people in the United Kingdom, it's 3 a.m. over there, and they're going to want to go to bed.
3 a.m. when they're listening to us on WZROnline.com.
We have a phone call.
All right, I'll take the caller while you drink some beers. Caller, you're on the air. What's on your mind?
Hey, it's Steven Gerbeck in the chat room. What's up, guys?
Steven.
Let me get a joke, brother.
All right, buddy. What do you call a guy who never farts in public?
A guy who never flirts in public?
Flirts or farts?
Farts in public.
Farts.
He's saying flirts.
He says farts.
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 Okay, well, I don't know. What do you call him? I stepped on your punchline. I'm sorry. What do you call him? Did he hang up?
You call it a private tutor.
A private
tutor. Get it? Toot.
I get it.
Fart, toot,
David,
toot.
call us back, man, with another joke here in a couple of minutes if you can. All right, thanks for the call. Caller, get on the air. What's on your mind?
Just one quick question. Might be off topic.
Okay.
So I hear Roy Jones might fight Anderson Silva. If they do fight, have to be boxing or UFC. Who do you think will win the match?
Thanks for the question. I need to leave the lines open. We have a couple callers. But, if they do fight, they're talking about doing it in a boxing match, not an MMA match. Dana White is completely against the
Roy
idea.
Jones Jr. and Silva?
Anderson
Silva gets fucked up in a boxing match.
He gets his life ruined.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't think so, but he doesn't realize that... Well, I mean, he realizes, but I think he thinks his boxing, because it's so superior in MMA...
Mm-hmm.
I think he thinks it would translate into boxing. Like, all right, I'm not the best boxer in the world, but I'm leaps and bounds ahead of everybody in UFC.
Is he going to do his whole whoop, whoop,
So
whoop,
I think it would
yeah.
even out to where an old past his prime Roy Jones Jr. and me being so supreme in UFC at boxing, I think that's how he thinks. I don't know what his fucking mind is.
I think he gets murked in boxing.
Yeah, that'd be like a top fucking... It's a bad analogy, but like a top football player saying, I could go and fucking set the home run record next year in baseball because I get the most fucking touchdowns.
That's a terrible analogy.
That I know, but I'm trying to think of there's really no analogy. It's combat sports, so they both are physically competing against...
Well, you can compare it to like the AHL of hockey and the NHL of hockey, or the NFL of football and college of football.
That's not it at all.
That's the same sport. That's the same sport, right.
So there really is, it's an unprecedented thing to talk about, because there's really no way to give you
that. There really is no
chess and checkers, there you go.
There you go.
Be like a checkers champion saying, like, alright, I could beat the fucking 10th rate chess player in the world, because I'm the number 1 ranked checkers player in the world.
Exactly.
Doesn't work that way.
Something like
Bottom line, though, Dana White's completely against it. Anderson Silva wants to do it. Roy Jones wants to do it. Will it happen? No.
Right.
They're also talking about Roy Jones and Rampage in a boxing match, which...
See, Bellator should do an MMA fight between those two. You know?
Well, listen, if they could get Roy Jones to do MMA, either company, I'm sure would be all for it.
Yeah.
Bottom line is he's not gonna, he knows better.
Yeah.
He's not delusional. Yeah. Unlike Rampage and Silva, who thinks, I'm a good boxer, right?
Silva.
Jones is past his prime. I could kill him, but he might be past his prime. But that's against the best in the world at boxing.
Right.
It's going against it's.
Hey, give it up for my boy.
It's like Bully Ray thinking he could beat Rampage.
While we're on the subject of boxing and UFC, give it up for my boy Nate Diaz, looking good this past Saturday night.
I proudly lost that bet, which I didn't want to fucking bet, by the way. I mean,
Nate Diaz looking good.
He goes out of his way. He says, no, come on, man. We want to make it interesting. Let's bet. I'm like, well, I'm not picking against Diaz. And because I had gotten somebody early in the night that was like an obvious guy that was going to win, he said, well, now I get to pick in this one. I said, all right, but if you're picking, or no, you know what? I take that back. I picked Maynard. Straight up.
You did?
Yeah, I picked Maynard straight up. I'm thinking
right.
of a different fight from the pay-per-view. Yeah, no. Diaz looked impressive. Yeah. You can't tell I just chugged in a giant tall boy, because we got the Labatt's now. So
we have to switch it up.
I didn't want one of these nasty things. But instead of just leaving it out there, I decided to chug the whole fucking thing. You know, waste not, want not.
So, alright. So let's get into this, man. By the way, Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR, the rapid fire, the thread for questions. You guys can go over there. Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR. We're gonna try to, we'll get to them all tonight, even if we gotta run late. If you guys want to call up live, you can do so at any point from now until we go off the air here tonight. 518-712-3070. 518-712-3070. Give us a call. Pick up your phone. Hit the digits.
Hi, am I on the air?
And call us up 518-712-3070 at any point from now until we go off the air. We will take your live phone call.
You want to listen into their conversation?
What's going on out there? Alright, let's get to the news, man. There is a lot of news to go over. I want to start with the big story, Davey Richards. Actually, before we do that, take one more phone call, and then we'll get into the news and the rumors.
Caller, you're on the air. What's on your mind? Caller, you there?
No.
Going once. Going twice. Thanks for the call.
Boom! Alright, here's the deal.
I'm going to go ahead and close this window. You go ahead.
Yeah. Alright, here's the deal. You guys have heard a lot of rumors over the last couple of weeks about Davey Richards, Ring of Honor, and WWE. Eddie Edwards has been, tagged pretty much inside all of those news posts where they are known as the American Wolves in Ring of Honor. Eddie Edwards, Davey Richards have teamed up for a while here in ROH, and WWE is interested in some top ROH talents.
These hasn't come out yet.
Davey Richards is one of those talents that they are interested in. He is at the WWE Performance Center. That's Rygal, if you want to take that.
Okay, I think that's who just called before. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
It's Rygal. What up, guys?
Hey, bro.
What up, man?
You going to the Ring of Honor show? Was it next weekend? Not this weekend. Next weekend.
Not this Saturday.
Oh yeah.
You are gonna be there? All right, cool deal. What's on your mind tonight, bro?
No, I just wanted your guys' opinion about the upcoming show, but you guys had actually just started talking about it when I called.
Did you have any comment, real quick?
I want to know Boone's opinion, because he's never gone to one, and what he's looking forward to, other than meeting me.
That's the top of my list, bro. Real quick before we let you go, do you have any thoughts? Because we're talking before we get into the actual card about Davey Richards and that whole situation. Have you followed the story? And if you have, what do you think about that? Being a big ROH fan.
I don't like Davey. I never really liked Davey. I've heard that he's kind of moody and stuff like that. And for him to go out there and say the things he said about the company's titles and things like that, there's just certain things you don't do. Like, okay, you got Greener Gables on the other side, but you don't put down the company that helped make you known to the United States. So, I don't know. I think Ring of Honor is all good, and I hope it's a great night for Eddie Edwards.
All right, valid point. All right, let's give us a call later if you have anything else on your mind. We need to inform everybody else on what's going on, because they might not be aware. You were telling them about the...
the deal with Davey Richards is this. To be honest with you, I don't even know where to start. I was having trouble finding a starting point. But, by the way, Rygal, we'll see you in a couple of weeks in New York City for the Hammerstein Ballroom. Somebody's getting beat up there. Jesus, man. All right, Davey Richards, I spoke to him. Basically, the news had been coming out over the last couple of weeks. Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards were at WWE's Performance Center. They are down there and have been training, and it looks like they're going to be signed.
They even worked on an NXT show.
Yes.
And Richards got injured, dropped on his neck, and they said that's why he pulled out of the Pro Wrestling Noah show.
Says he got injured.
Yeah, that's what I said. They says he got injured, fell on his neck. That's why he pulled out of the Pro Wrestling Noah show, and he's even... The Ring of Honor wanted to use that as an excuse as to why they
non-appearing. Yeah. So the deal with Davey is here's what happened. Davey and Eddie Edwards have been in talks with WWE for months now. They went to a recent tryout camp down in Florida.
I'm sorry, are we going to get to that point?
They went down. They were at a recent tryout camp in Florida, and they were told that WWE would contact them within the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months. A couple of months went by, they heard nothing, and eventually they got a call from Triple H, is what Davey said. Triple H called them, said, come down to the WWE Performance Center, we'll give you guys a look, and if we're interested, we'll sign you. You guys can go through your medical testing. This was a couple of weeks ago, probably about a month ago, where Davey was contacted, Eddie as well, and said, come down to the Performance Center. They appeared on an NXT show.
On the TV, right? It was just a live event?
Just a live event. Okay. It was I think it might have been, they do the Hulu thing on Thursday night.
Yeah, that's their TV.
So they went down there, WWE's interested, and now all that needs to happen is they need to go through the medical testing and pass the physicals and everything else.
Okay, it wasn't taping, I'm sorry.
As this was happening, a couple of months ago, Davey Richards went out and did an interview with a wrestling magazine that back in the old days was well known, just came back this past year, called Total Wrestling Magazine.
In the UK, yeah.
In the United Kingdom. And they asked him about Ring of Honor, and he basically not necessarily trashed them, basically said that their tag team titles and their titles don't mean anything, and, it's just a different company. I spoke to Davey, and the deal is, ever since Sinclair Broadcasting bought out Ring of Honor, in Davey's opinion, ROH has turned more into a corporate. The atmosphere backstage before Sinclair had bought out Ring of Honor, it was a group of guys, it was an indie locker room, everybody was tightly bonded. And then Sinclair came in, and there's been a lot of executives backstage, whether it be at pay-per-views, TV tapings, and things like that. A lot of executives where a lot of the guys are changed, and
it's not the same.
A lot of the roster is sucking up to these executives, thinking that if I sucked up to these guys, I'll get more time on television, I'll be a bigger star in Ring of Honor.
Not to sidetrack you, but what the fuck? Do they even get any ratings for their shows? I mean, what the
Sinclair is a big broadcasting company.
Do we get it?
We get Sinclair.
Do we?
We get Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor.
So we can watch it every Saturday night if we want.
Okay. Well, what do you do? Like an average rating? Do they get 200,000 viewers, 500,000?
It's not that good, man. I mean, it's a late night time slot on a Saturday night. At least up here, it's different in all different markets. But
Rygal says they don't get it in New York City, and that's a major.
Very late. I mean, we get it. It airs at like 3 a.m. here, man.
Rygal, real quick, if you know the ratings, throw them in the chat.
So Davey says that there's a lot more politics involved with Ring of Honor because executives are backstage television tapings and things like that, and he's just not a fan. It's not the same Ring of Honor that it used to be. It's a lot more corporate, and he came out in the interview and he spoke his mind. On the other hand, a lot of guys in the ROH locker room have said that ever since Sinclair bought out Ring of Honor, Davey's come with this attitude. It's like he doesn't want to be there. He's a dickhead to people. He thinks he's a bigger star than a lot of the ROH locker room. And granted, he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. I mean, Davey Richards is a great, great wrestler. There's no doubt about that. But it rubs people the wrong way. Then there have been numerous times where Davey's been caught in lies where he's claimed injury and he hasn't been injured and he's been fine.
It sounds very, very comparable to Shawn Michaels in his prime. Mm-hmm. He knew he was the best in the world. He was quick to tell you about it. He would always fake an injury to avoid jobbing titles or to get out of shit he didn't want to do. He would say, "Oh, I'm injured. I can't work. I got to forfeit the belt instead of jobbing."
So
sounds very similar.
Davey's thing, and this is my personal. I mean, when I spoke to Davey on Sunday, I'm telling you guys, this guy sounded like the nicest guy you would ever meet. But you could tell that there was kind of an ego there. And I think in Davey's mind, Davey knows that Ring of Honor has done a lot for him, and he loves Ring of Honor, but ever since Sinclair Broadcasting bought out ROH, it's more of a corporate atmosphere, and Davey doesn't like that. Davey knows that he doesn't need the indie
promotions anymore. He's headed to WWE.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think that this situation got worse, his ego, when he got the NXT?
And then the ego gets worse when he's offered a WWE contract, and it escalates from there. And Davey says, well, basically, fuck this. I'm going to WWE anyway. So now, Davey knows that if it doesn't work out in WWE, he's probably going to wind up either retiring, which he's claimed he's going to retire time and time again. Only in his 30s, man. Right. But he's claimed that he's going to retire time and time again, and it's never happened. Davey doesn't.
Sounds a lot like
Davey doesn't want to rub Ring of Honor the wrong way, so he sent us a statement on Sunday night. It was right after I got off the phone with him, and sent us a statement, and it basically said, "Thank you, Ring of Honor. Please support their product." I think what Davey said in the Total Wrestling magazine, that's his true feelings. I mean, there's no denying that. When Ring of Honor found out about the comments, they got pissed off.
Yeah.
And they pulled them from Final Battle, and Davey is basically saying, fuck, I shouldn't have said those comments because I like Ring of Honor. I love Ring of Honor. And
he at least wanted his farewell match.
And he wanted
a lot of guys
match.
had famous farewell matches. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, all these guys have had their great send-offs at Ring of Honor.
So
Punk did the cool thing, signing the contract, all that stuff.
So how do I put this? Davey is... He loves Ring of Honor. He just doesn't like the way it is now. Yeah. There's been a lot of changes. He's basically, with that statement that you guys saw on the website, he's basically taking the high road and saying, support Ring of Honor. They've done a lot for me. And he's trying to leave the door open where if it doesn't work out to WWE, they'll bring him back in Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor's pissed off. It says, fuck you, man. We're not going to let you come out. We're not going to let you trash us. We're not going to let you trash our titles, our company. Screw you. Your Final Battle match is off. Davey knows he fucked up by saying those things. He regrets it, but that's the way that he honestly does feel, and that's where they stand right now. Davey Richards, it's not a work or anything like that where he's going to appear at Final Battle. He's tried to apologize numerous times to Ring of Honor management. I don't want anything to do with it, and basically saying go to WWE. And
Two questions. Okay, I'll let you do your whole speech there.
Well,
see, Davey Richards sent that statement out to the media or whatever, but he actually spoke to you directly and kind of got more than what you released a statement because that's the statement he wanted out there.
Mm-hmm.
But then you talked to him directly, and he's mentioned it in the statement, but he gave you more details about how Ring of Honor, and I think you covered this in your speech just now, kind of specifically said to him that they were going to pretend that his injury was the reason they didn't want him on the match.
Final Battle, they were going to claim injury.
So the two questions come to mind is, A, do you really believe Ring of Honor was going to lie and be like, oh, he's injured, that's why he's not here, as opposed to really... And then two, do you think there's a chance that he'll be there as a surprise anyway?
I don't. Davey Richards, number one. Okay,
you think it's
a lot of the locker room? This is all a shoot.
Yeah,
a lot of the
no chance that they fix it, like realizing
there's
a big
deal. In the next 2 weeks, they could fix it out. Davey has apologized, like I said, profusely to ROH management and said, "Listen, I am sorry. It's my bad. I would like this. It's not that WWE's not letting him work the Final Battle pay-per-view or iPay-per-view. Okay. They said you can go, you can finish out your indie dates, including Ring of Honor." A lot of the guys in the locker room took the comments that Davey said. They looked at those comments, the attitude, the ego that he's had over the last couple months, ever since the WWE, and they look at Davey as, dude, you're a douchebag, bro. We're the ones, Ring of Honor, we're the ones, you've been here for years and years and years. You're a douchebag. Now that you're offered a WWE contract, fuck you, man. Yeah. We've been a locker room all along, and now you've got this attitude, and Davey knows that a lot of the boys in the locker room are pissed off about it. ROH management's pissed off about it. They pulled him from Final Battle, and he says, fuck, man, I fucked up. But it's honestly the way that he feels. So, could they work things out? And Davey keeps apologizing to Ring of Honor. Listen, man, I'm sorry. I'd like to work Final Battle. And could Davey show up at Final Battle? Yeah, it could happen in 2 weeks. But as of right now, ROH is pissed, and Davey is in damage control mode right now. I don't think Davey's at Ring of Honor.
I had some follow-up questions, but we just blew 30 minutes on one story. We got like 20 more. So what else? What else do we have in there?
All right. So that's Davey Richards, guys. He's that's his honest feelings, and he knows he fucked up by saying that. Sometimes you got to keep your mouth.
shut. And
keep your mouth shut, bitch.
He didn't do that.
Oh, that Rock said the.
So we got about 15 minutes here, dude. Let's get through the rest of this news. You brought this up earlier, Triple H and the Big Show, and talk about Triple H and CM Punk, which you brought up too.
Okay, well, I had mentioned that a couple of, probably about a month ago now, that I had just speculated that the way they were doing stuff on Raw, it seemed like they were leading towards a Triple H Big Show match. And we had speculated even further that maybe they'll do Kane and Big Show at TLC to buy time so that Triple H doesn't waste a big comeback match on a B show like TLC.
Right.
He'll do it at the January Royal Rumble pay-per-view instead. As far as I know, there's no plans to do any of that anymore, especially with Kane being in the Authority now and kind of having a more of a management type role.
That is completely. I mean, the original plan, dude, was to do Triple H and Big Show at the TLC pay-per-view, and that is.
And that seemed like that's what they were gearing up to. But so now the plan is.
They may do Triple H,
Shield, Punk, Triple H, nothing at TLC.
Nothing, Show, but Triple H is going to be in a match at WrestleMania.
Oh, WrestleMania for sure.
No
but
doubt,
we're talking
right?
TLC. Is there
TLC? It's
no Triple H, but will Big Show work? You think?
I think Big Show will have a match. It may be like a tag team match. They might put. I mean, we've already got what? We've already got 2 3-on-1 handicap matches. Daniel Bryan against the Wyatt family, and then CM Punk against the Shield.
You got Natalya versus AJ for the Divas title. You got Biggie Langston, Damian Sandow for the IC title.
Yeah.
Cena Orton unification match. Goldust and Cody Rhodes. Didn't they have a tag title match?
You know what? I'm going to go on record as saying Big Show's going to be on the pre-show. I think he's going to be on the pre-show panel.
Pre-show?
I think he's going to be on the pre-show panel.
I thought you meant the kickoff match.
He's going to be a part of the pre-show panel and not in a
What do you think they're doing with this concussion stuff with him lately? What's that all about?
Yeah, that is weird. That is because he's not injured and they don't need to take him off TV.
It's kind of out of nowhere, but we're quick to say, well, because like last night, on Monday night, they kind of, his concussion's gone, he's fine now, blah, blah, blah. So they kind of downplayed that it ever happened. So then it begs the question, well, why do it in the first place if it's not going to lead to anything? But I fucking stuck my foot in my mouth jumping the gun on that with the Daniel Bryan kidnapping situation. And then all of a sudden it actually did turn around and make sense if I would have just let it play out a little bit.
Right, exactly.
So what do you think? Is there any speculation as to why they're doing the Big Show concussion?
I don't know.
What it could lead to?
And you're right. They haven't
more vulnerable to Triple H if he gets. I don't know.
And they haven't brought it up in the last.
They mentioned it on Raw, but they brought it up in the sense that he's fine now. It's completely cured.
But I think they're going to move on.
He had a match, and they never did anything during the match to.
I think they're going to move on with that and go from there.
So it was kind of a one thing that meant nothing then.
I think so. If they said the Big Show's fine on Raw, like you're saying,
but the fact that they even addressed it makes me think that, well, no, they did it for a reason, and we just haven't found out what that reason is.
Yeah, we'll see where they go.
I can't even speculate as to what it would be.
They could always bring it back up in a storyline, you know what I mean? Speaking of Triple H and Big Show, WWE, every year they send out a letter to all former WWE talents.
Yeah.
If you were under a performance contract with WWE, they offer you rehab, where if you're having problems, if you're struggling with either alcohol or drugs, and a lot of wrestlers do. They pay for it.
Scott Hall's broken the record supposedly.
He's got like 16,
Sonny's going
16 times, dude.
Yeah, a lot of guys that are girls that have been in the company, no longer with the company actively, that have drug or alcohol issues, and say they want to, they want to help they want to fix their lives and get that shit, situated.
And let's be honest,
WWE will pay to sponsor their rehab stuff.
Let's be honest, a lot of ex-WWE talents do have issues with alcohol and drugs after they retire from the business, right?
Specifically the last few generations, because this generation, it still happens. There's still guys, I don't want to name names, but I will, just to throw a couple examples out. There's the Kurt Angles.
Well, you just did Sonny and...
But these are guys, no, I'm making the current guy, like the Hardys, the Angles. That's like a newer generation where they're not as known for the drug as like the Jake the Snake, the fucking, that whole era, the Road Warrior.
You just brought up a TNA talent, and this goes for all former WWE talents, even if they're in TNA.
Yeah.
The offer, and the letter...
I was further on your point where you said that a lot of guys in the past had issues, and they're no longer with the company, but they'll still sponsor it. Yeah, but like now, currently, there isn't that many, so we say, it's not as big of an issue today as it was in previous generations.
Right.
So WWE does have to sponsor a lot of people from the old days.
You're right.
That because
Absolutely.
that was the kind of the way things went at the time. They would get into that cycle, and then even though they're no longer with WWE, they're still in the drug cycle.
Right.
And WWE's willing to help. Which
But it's a
classy
it's
thing.
a great thing for WWE to do.
I mean, they don't have to do that, but it's a really cool thing
and
to do.
Rehab's
like
expensive, man. You're talking $5,000, $10,000, $15,000.
And UFC does a similar thing where they'll pay for your I think you have to be a contracted talent still.
Right.
But they'll pay if you get injured or you need surgery, they pay for the whole
do
surgery.
They? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they'll fix guys, operate,
The letter was signed by Triple H. So anybody that needs help, the offer is there. All you got to do is contact WWE. They don't put your name out there. Everything's confidential. Your name doesn't go out there. But if you need help and you're a former talent that was ever under contract, whether it be in the last couple of years or 25 years ago, if you need help, they're there for you. So it's a great idea. Great idea.
Rey Mysterio was backstage at Raw, you're saying?
Was backstage.
Not used on the TV, why?
He is back full-time with WWE, going to be working house shows and live events. He wasn't used at Raw just because they didn't have anything written in for him.
He worked Survivor Series? What was the last pay-per-view?
He was Survivor Series.
Survivor Series. He worked that. He worked the SmackDown the week before Survivor Series. Why? He did a run-in on Raw.
There was nothing in the creative script for him, man. They kept him off Raw this past week, man.
That's weird.
Speaking of Rey Mysterio, Sin Cara, man.
Speaking of Rey Mysterio, Sin Cara. Because they both wear masks.
Speaking of masks.
What are you, prejudiced against people with masks? They all look the same to you? They all look alike?
Alright, so
masked people look alike to Ryan.
Another masked wrestler in WWE by the name of Sin Cara made his return on Monday Night Raw this past week.
But yeah.
Sin Cara.
That's not his name.
Oh, Mystico.
That's not his name. That's a
What's
character.
What's his real name?
I don't remember his real name. It's not Sin Cara. That's a character. Rey Mysterio is his name.
Right.
Or actually, no, it's not.
No, it's not. Rey Gutierrez.
Oscar Gutierrez or whatever. Gutierrez. I
think you might be right.
I don't fucking
but anyway, Sin Cara. So Sin Cara makes his return to Monday Night Raw this past week. It was not Sin Cara under the mask.
And it was kind of obvious. Because the fucking guy had a
tattoo,
giant tattoo. Like, how did they even expect to get that over? Like, did they even address on commentary? Sin Cara got a tattoo during his off time. Like, no, we're just supposed to be like, oh, Sin Cara's got a big fucking tattoo.
And he was much better worker, bro. I mean, normally Sin Cara matches, you have botch spot after botch after botch after botch. And it was like, you know what? Unico, who was under the mask on Monday Night Raw this past week, there are rumors, and we don't have this confirmed yet, that Sin Cara was backstage at Raw this past Monday. The real Sin Cara was backstage at Raw this past Monday and was told that they are not going to be using him on television from this point forward. I would not be surprised.
He's pretty much gone.
I would not be surprised when his contract expires with WWE, and it could even be sooner than that. You are going to see Sin Cara gone from WWE.
But how will they announce it? Because they always announce when someone's released. How do you announce that without saying Sin Cara is released? Because Sin Cara will still exist.
Sin Cara will still exist, and the reason for that is merchandise sales.
No, we mentioned earlier, but I'm saying, on WWE.com, when they release somebody, Cody Rhodes, we wish him good luck on his future endeavors.
I don't think we'll see an announcement.
We can't say Sin Cara, but I thought they have to kind of.
They have to do a wellness policy announcement.
I thought with releases
so they say
too.
Not a release.
Because
not a
it's
release.
A public company. I thought they had to.
Not a release.
No,
There's been even developmental. I know they don't name developmental talents that have been released, but there have been people that have been cut in the past where they have not named them on WWE.com.
Main roster.
They've just been main roster guys who have been gone and they have not announced them on WWE.com.
Like even with Rob Van Dam, they addressed that when it became.
They may just wait till his contract expires and then they don't have to announce it that he didn't re-sign a contract. I mean, if his contract expires and he's gone, they don't have to announce it. You know. So, but apparently there's been some rumors that he was told he's not going to be used on television.
Because even Jim Ross, they announced that one, and he wasn't a regular on-camera talent, but they still announced it because
that's true.
But Sin Cara, like you said,
Ross,
they let the contract expire, and they just said, but then you still can't say Sin Cara.
So we'll see. We'll see if his contract expires or if they.
I don't know. I got hung up on that part of it. It just caught me as interesting. Like they always announce the release. How can they say Sin Cara's released when Sin Cara, the guy that normally plays him, is released, but Sin Cara, the character, is is still going to stay. How do you make that announcement?
Yeah, it'd be weird. Speaking of Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio, you talked about this while we were running down what we're going to run down. How about this? WrestleMania 30.
I love the idea. The match is cool. I mean,
they were going to do it last year.
Yeah, I would have preferred the real Sin Cara because it's a legendary Mexican guy against another legendary Mexican guy.
Right.
You know, in the ring, both masked wrestling. But
they want to set the Guinness. They want to set the Guinness book for people.
They hand out the masks. Wear the mask.
They want to hand out the mask. Anybody that walks through the door.
Bryan towels or whatever the fuck this is the big thing at the time. Right. They hand them out to you.
And they would set the Guinness Book of World Records for most people in an arena. You have 70,000 people in the arena that were wearing masks at one time, and they would set the Guinness Book of World Records. Well, we talked about this
real quick. They did that at a baseball or a football game of some kind with masks, didn't they? And they set
Lucha Libre masks
with a big record, so they're gonna have to get a lot of fucking masks to break the record.
Baseball games, dude, a normal baseball game only draws about 30,000 people, unless it's a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? Playoffs.
What's football that draws nutty attendance?
Football every week, 80,000, 90,000 people.
So it's definitely baseball that did Lucha Night or whatever. Okay.
Speaking of WrestleMania 30 ticket sales, bro, I know it's a little bit further down the list, but tickets went on sale last Saturday, I believe it was. The pre-sale was before that. But last Saturday to the general public, or if you're not online, you don't participate in the pre-sale, tickets sold. The amount of tickets sold, 40,000.
In the households, because they're trying to set
households, it's Superdome in New Orleans, holds about 90,000 for football.
In New Orleans?
Probably between, I would say anywhere between 80 and 95,000.
I say New Orleans. You say New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah, and some weird people say
Allison used to live in New Orleans.
I know, that's why she's a Saints fan.
Right.
But, his sister Allison. Yeah. But, no, what was I going to say? Some people, I say New Orleans.
Right.
I've heard a lot of people say it the way you say it, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Some people are retarded and say New Orleans.
New Orleans?
No, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
I can't even get it off my tongue.
It's hard to fucking say, yeah, but I've heard people say, I'm going to what is it, Mardi Gras up in New Orleans this year.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
I've heard of New Orleans and New Orleans. Yeah. Which is what I say, and you say New Orleans.
New Orleans,
So we'll see what happens there. Exclusive on Layla. I was told
about semantics here on WZR.
I was told by a pretty reliable source that has been right before on today's Wednesday.
Monday. That's right.
On Monday, that there is a very good chance that we may not see Layla back in WWE, and I don't want to go any further than that.
I will really quick before you finish the story. There's a very good chance we wouldn't see her.
There's
a
chance that we will not see Layla back in WWE.
There's a great chance that I don't give a fuck. So what's going on?
You know what? A lot of people have been asking about Layla and her WWE status. As of right now, she is on a personal leave. She asked for some time off from WWE. The reason for that time off, I can confirm, it's not a family issue.
Is she the one that got drunk at the bar with
That's Rosita, and we're going to talk about that.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Layla in WWE. All
I'll say... Who was sent home from the...
Rosita.
The tour. Rosita.
Okay. Rosita. All I'll say right now is Layla has asked for some time off from WWE for personal issues. A source that I've talked to, and I talked to him on Monday.
You mean Rosa Mendez is what they're saying in the chat, not Rosita.
Rosa Mendez. Yeah. Rosita's in TNA, my bad. Somebody that I talked to on Monday, and Layla's not happy. And hasn't been happy, and asked for some time off. Asked for some time off from WWE. I had put up an article a while ago when I talked to Shad Gaspard, was the whole thing with the mid-carders, and I mentioned that some divas were also not happy in WWE. JTG was one of the people that wasn't happy in WWE.
Is he still in the company?
He's still in the company.
Wow.
I mentioned that some people, including divas, were not happy in WWE. Layla is one of those people. She requested some time off from WWE. Basically, what I was told on Monday was burnt out, but she's not happy, and there is a pretty good chance, unless she cools off. Basically, she's not happy with WWE. She's burnt out. She's asked for some time off, and that's where she is right now. But she's not happy, and like other divas in the past, Maurice, Kelly, pursuing other opportunities outside of WWE while she takes this time off, doesn't want it out there, doesn't want to let WWE know that I'm looking at other options right now, but she's not happy. So I wouldn't be surprised if Layla does not return to WWE.
I keep picturing Layla Ali. I don't know. I could give two fucks about Layla. What else is in there?
Hulk Hogan.
WrestleMania, that's right. John Cena spoke with TMZ, your favorite fucking website.
I love it. TMZ, baby.
Fucking listens to TMZ live every day.
Yeah, man. Whenever you hit the video, dun dun dun, dun dun dun.
Yeah. But anyways, when they go to commercial or something, I always hear through the wall because you have the speakers real loud with the bass box. I hear But anyways,
were you see him at WrestleMania or what?
John Cena spoke with TMZ, and he straight up said that yes, WWE's negotiating with him. Yes, they want him at WrestleMania 30. Yes, John Cena wants him at WrestleMania 30. He said it actually wouldn't even be WrestleMania 30 without Hulk Hogan. That's how much they want him. But he also said that he doesn't want to see him in the ring.
Right. Well, Hogan's at that age where a one-on-one...
They talked about maybe a tag team match. That's what Cena said.
It's been talked about.
I would much prefer...
a singles match?
Absolutely.
At his age?
Absolutely.
No.
You gimmick it up. You get Pat Patterson back in there to fucking tell him how to do some bells and whistles. That way you kind of hide the fact that Hogan's really past his prime. He don't need to drop a leg. He can just get beat without even going for it. You know, there's got to be a way to do it.
I don't want to see a Hogan singles match at his age. I've seen Hogan in TNA, and granted, that's on an Impact. You're talking WrestleMania. Hogan's going to go out there at WrestleMania, 80,000 people, and he's going to do everything he can possibly do.
Right place, right show, right person, right money.
Right money.
Most important, right money. Count to 10. Go squeeze a pillow.
I know.
All right, but anyways, Hogan, if he even is in a tag match, he's gonna want to do the big boot, the fucking leg drop. If he's gonna do those,
he's gonna want to do it. No
if
doubt.
Those are the spots that he shouldn't be doing, and he's gonna do them in a tag team match anyway.
Why not be it at WrestleMania?
Might as well do a singles match. So that you can get the money out of it. Hulk Hogan and John Cena versus whoever is not going to be as much money.
Yeah, but Cena gets
Cena.
Not that Cena needs the rub, but he gets the rub from a guy like Hogan at WrestleMania. Cena doesn't need any rub from anybody.
Rubs. There's no rubs. Right. We need a dream match that could only happen at a WrestleMania. And that's Hogan Cena.
I'm going to let you guys know. We're going to go about 20 minutes late tonight because we do want to get to the rapid fire, and we're only about halfway through this list as far as news is concerned.
So let's start speeding through.
We'll go about 15 or 20 minutes. Slammy Awards returning next week on Raw.
I don't have the categories memorized.
Some big names are returning.
I'll tell you, Bret Hart's doing the match of the year. Shawn Michaels doing Superstar of the year.
Eve Torres is
doing Total Diva of the year.
Total Diva or Diva?
That's called Total Diva of the year. I don't know why that's what it's called.
There's going to be some other names that are returning.
By the way, they mentioned in the chat we need to quit fucking with our beards. But you got to understand, A, it's itchy, and B, it gets on my lip, my fucking hair. It gets on my lips, so it's almost like I'm eating hair every time I lick my lips or any fucking kind of thing. I drink a drink, but that's why
They say that in the chat room?
Yeah.
You said drink a drink? WZROnline.com! Motherfucking .com! .com! /chat WZROnline.com! .com /
That was my form. I ain't doing no more. Fuck you.
Chat.
Alright, anyway, Slammy Awards. So we got Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Eve Torres. It's going to be hosted by Jerry Lawler and Booker T.
Yes.
And Christian's also going to be returning.
Christian.
As a presenter.
Speaking of Christian.
Where's
Christian been? Christian is not cleared to return as of right now. That's the reason you guys have not seen him back in WWE. Well, we're on the subject of returns real quickly. Yoshi Tatsu. Not that anybody cares where he is, but he's been working down at the WWE Performance Center, working with some of the younger talents.
He's still with WWE?
The ropes.
Didn't even know that.
Down in WWE.
Kind of my job to know that.
At the Performance Center. And Drew McIntyre recently got his green card.
Yes.
Has been kind of hit or miss on WWE television. Not that 3MB is on
fucked his arm up at one point. Remember the picture of his...
You're right.
Yeah, but they're doing like the Blue World Order, the BWO, where every week they're a imitation.
Different gimmick.
Yeah, they did the Three
Fabulous
Birds.
Three Birds.
Yeah, which was my favorite.
Right,
I was a huge Free Birds fan going up. Michael PSA's doing the fucking juking and jiving on the top rope, pointing at each other.
Michael P.S. Hayes.
Yeah,
what's
that's
up
a good
with that,
segue,
man?
right?
What's up with that? Backstage
You tell
Raw,
me,
right?
because there was a big situation with him at the bar with Rosa Mendez. And he was suspended or sent home or whatever the fuck. He's a big creative force backstage. I think he's the head guy at SmackDown for the creative.
He used to be head of creative for SmackDown. Basically, what happened is Rosa Mendez. You guys remember the story?
Most people know that, but what's going on now?
You guys remember the story earlier this year? Rosa Mendez was sent home from the European tour. People
she got a drinking
problem. The tour said
he ended
that
up getting drunk at a bar.
She was a complete mess. They sent her home from the European tour. They told her, "Hey, listen, enter rehab or lose your job with WWE." She decided to enter rehab. She got out of rehab. Michael Hayes was caught by somebody in WWE management.
And being an agent
at a bar.
I remember management getting a known addict or alcoholic drunk.
Michael Hayes was spotted buying Rosa Mendez a drink at a bar very shortly after she had been released from rehab. Not only that, but Chris Masters sent out a tweet and says, "Hey, what if I told you that current WWE diva was sucking Michael Hayes' dick to keep her job?" Everybody assumed, there was a lot of rumors, who could the diva be?
That wouldn't surprise
current WWE diva. And then Rosa Mendez is always spotted traveling and drinking at bars and things like that with Michael Hayes. So a lot of people say that there is some sort of sexual relationship with Rosa Mendez.
Just to clarify before we get to the actual news part with Michael Hayes, I'm not saying I'm not surprised or that makes sense to me when I just said that comment. It's more about the personality that Michael Hayes has. So I'm a huge Michael Hayes fan, Freebirds fan, so I kind of know his...
I can picture
I know his reputation. Now, I'm not saying that, it makes sense because Rosa Mendez is a slut. I have no idea. But I know Michael Hayes is the kind of guy...
He's kind of a 40
loves the party,
old man, right.
He loves the party, and he's kind of known as a ladies' man going up to his career. He actually banged... I can never remember the name.
Michael Hayes known as a ladies' man?
He actually was.
No, I know. You're right.
There was a celebrity that even Ric Flair shouted it out on the Legends of Wrestling Roundtable. He's like... I can't fucking remember the celebrity, but it was like
But how does Michael Hayes...
big name... Cher.
Yeah?
Or no, was it Cher? Who?
Michael Hayes was banging Cher?
Remember. Yes, no, it wasn't Cher. It was somebody even hotter and more famous. Somebody you'd be like, no shit, Michael Hayes
really
fucking got her. I forget who it was. Does anybody in the chat know? They probably don't. But, so that's why I said that comment. Michael Hayes is kind of known as a party.
He really is, dude. When you look at, photos of Michael Hayes getting the pussy, bro.
Supposedly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I agree with you, but it's like, damn.
I think it was Cher. That's what Winner's Lair said. I believe it was Cher.
Wow.
So here we go. Let's see what...
Michael fucking Hayes, dude. Michael Hayes, man.
Caller, you're on the air. What's on your mind?
Hey, I made a spoiler. AFL, I just turned out the Impact Wrestling tapings.
What happened at the tapings, brother?
AJ Styles just returned.
Did he return? Yeah, they said they were...
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, real quick. He returned tonight at tonight's tapings?
Yep.
Okay. Real quick, everybody turn your speakers down. What did he do? What was the circumstances of his return?
He confronted Magnus.
Confronted Magnus. Okay, and then
so they're gonna do a. Looks like they're gonna do a title versus title match. Unification, pretty much like a title of Magnus versus AJ Styles. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the plan. That was the plan. It was just
real
a matter
quick
of
before we get into it. Anything else before we let you go, sir?
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much for the information. All right.
Thanks, man.
But yeah, no, it's funny how WWE and TNA keep having these similar storylines.
Right?
They break up the aces and eights. They're breaking up the shit. They're doing all these things at the same time.
Same thing.
What was it? Dixie Carter and the AJ Styles. Or what?
Oh, recently, they copied an angle. It was Ryback with the bullying thing, I believe.
Yeah, but there was also a woman.
Oh, Gail Kim and the Open Challenge. It was Ryback's Open Challenge at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, okay.
Gail Kim's got the Open Challenge
now they're both doing unification.
But they've always done that. They've always taken ideas from each other.
Oh yeah, by the way, guys, turn the volume back up. No more spoilers. So
yeah. They've always done things like that, where they borrow each other's ideas and things like that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll finish up the news here. We got about 5 minutes to go, and then we're going to go about 10 minutes long. We're going to do rapid fire. We're going to do it quickly again tonight. This was a week where we had so much news that we wanted to get through, guys. So from now on, we're going to do like we did in...
Easy, buddy.
We're going to do like we did in hour number 1. We're going to do the high points and low points of Raw. Then we're going to take about 5 or 10 news items, and we're going to run that down.
For example, we won't spend 10 minutes talking about Layla next fucking week.
And then, well, that was a big I don't think Layla's coming back to WWE.
We could have did it quicker.
All right.
Davey Richards was
too.
It was cool.
I spoke to Davey.
Yeah, because he spoke to you personally, and you had like a really exclusive.
But listen, we'll do 5 or 10 stories, and then we'll be able to spend, starting next week, we'll be able to spend more time on rapid fire for you. Probably going to rush through it a little bit tonight, but we'll spend more time on rapid fire.
If you want to get out of here.
Speaking of the Performance Center, Yoshi Tatsu's down there. Adam Pearce
Adam Pearce was the NWA champion.
NWA champion down there.
In the beginning.
Roman Reigns is getting a push. We know that he's got the IC title, and
no, he doesn't. Biggie Langston has the IC title. Biggie Langston's getting a push too. Roman Reigns just had the Survivor Series where he he tied the record for 4 eliminations for one person in one match.
You're right.
They're talking about giving him a big push at the Royal Rumble. In the Royal Rumble match itself, kind of like Kevin Nash and Kane, where he'll be responsible for like a record-setting amount of eliminations.
Ton of eliminations.
Because that really solidified both Kane and Kevin Nash when they were kind of coming up the ranks.
Plus, at Survivor Series, he had all those spears, right? In the
absolutely.
elimination.
But they made him look like an unstoppable force, and they gave him because a lot of traditionally done things early on in people's careers, earlier in WWE's Survivor Series. If you got a bunch of eliminations, that was kind of a good way to push somebody, a unique way to push somebody. Right. If you're in the Royal Rumble, getting a bunch of guys eliminated, again with the eliminations, is another way to elevate somebody in a unique kind of a way. Right. So they're doing the old school thing with Roman Reigns in those fashions, and it seems to be working,
Yeah, no doubt. Speaking of this, guy just brought up the TNA Impact tapings. They're in progress right now. Taz and Mike Tenay haven't been at the Impact tapings. A lot of people wondering, well, if they're not there, how are they doing commentary? They are flying to Nashville and doing the commentary later, voiceovers. They're doing them from Nashville. TNA's taping TV tonight and tomorrow night for the next couple of weeks. That gets them through the holidays, through into early 2014. They are back in Orlando, Florida. Everybody knows that by now. And then the TNA title, they did the tournament.
Turn your speakers down. Are you going to say it?
Yeah, there's going to be a tournament.
Turn your speakers down.
It's going to be
5, 4, 3.
Magnus against AJ Styles for my bad. I thought you were going to tell him turn it back up after 5. I fucked up. Going to be Magnus versus AJ Styles. They're going to do like Boone talked about just a couple of minutes ago, title unification match here in the coming weeks.
Bill Goldberg recently spoke out in an interview when he spoke about the rumors of him returning at WrestleMania. He pretty much said that Triple H personally called him and said that you should come back, blah blah blah. During the conversation at some point, Triple H actually said to Goldberg, "Imagine the pop you'll get." And Goldberg, being the egotistical fucking asshole that he is.
A lot of people say he's got a huge ego.
He does. Well, from what I hear, outside of wrestling or outside of business, he's actually a really good guy. Does a lot of things for charity, for kids, for animals, even. But when it comes to business, he kind of thinks he's
above.
He's the bee's baby. He's
what
the cat's pajamas.
What do you think, Goldberg at WrestleMania? I know you. I mean, we can agree. Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania, no doubt. Correct.
I wouldn't say no doubt, but very likely.
What about Goldberg?
Not as likely.
More than a 50-50, or
I'll say right at 50-50.
Yeah?
I'd say maybe 49% chance, 51% chance.
I'll go with you on that.
Slightly less than 50-50.
Yeah, I'll go.
But no, they basically, because the Triple H took the tactic of imagine the pop will get. Goldberg said something to the effect of, whether it was to his face or on Twitter or in this interview we're talking about now after the fact, said like, well, if that's the way they think they're going to get me, they're completely wrong.
I'm all about that money.
Yeah, or just like I'm not basically saying you can't get me by stroking my fucking wrestling ego and saying, oh, I'll get a big pop because I don't care if I get a big pop. I'm a businessman.
He's got such an ego, dude.
But basically, they want to do Goldberg Ryback. Ryback's been pushing for it in interviews as well, saying he'd like to get him in the ring and this and that.
You ever know? It's Goldberg and Hogan are all about that money. I mean,
you should be. It's a business.
Yeah, no doubt. But I mean,
business.
Hulk Hogan, we're gonna see him at WrestleMania. I'm convinced we're gonna see him.
I mean,
sure.
never. In what fashion remains to be seen. But will he be there? Pretty likely, I would say. I
would say Hogan very, very, very likely. Goldberg,
I wouldn't say very, very, very likely for one reason.
What's that?
Hogan knows he's got WWE by the balls.
Hogan knows best.
He's the attraction that they want. WrestleMania 30 is a milestone number. He's the fucking face of WrestleMania for the first damn near 10 of them.
Right.
So they he's got more leverage than they do in that he could just go fucking take another job with TNA, get a bunch of fucking bread. He could do a reality show. He could do a lot of things. WWE needs this special attraction. Now, there's a bunch of attractions they could get, but none of them are on par with a Hulk Hogan comeback at a milestone number like 30.
Exactly.
It's not as a big a deal if Hogan comes back at 29 or 31 as it is at 30.
30's
milestone number.
3 decades, right?
Exactly.
3 decades of WrestleMania. All right, let's do some rapid fire, and then we'll get out of here.
Did you exit out? There was one other story.
I did. No.
All right,
we'll get it back up. Don't worry about it. What do we got?
I thought there was one other thing I wanted to quickly...
TNA or WWE?
I think it was WWE.
Was it?
I believe.
Let's see here.
Yeah, we might have got
the list was so damn long. We ran down Davey Richards. Creative team?
Keep going.
Lots of changes.
That's too much to get into now. The
the
Dynamite Kid. We have to give the update on Dynamite Kid. Yeah,
right.
And the Paul Heyman.
Okay. All right.
Dynamite Kid had the stroke, like we said.
Right.
His daughter
has been updating things.
And apparently it's actually looking better now.
Much better.
He's looking pretty
much better,
good.
Bro. Much better.
So I just wanted to give fans an update on that because a lot of people have been asking me.
Brock Lesnar, well, we're on the subject of, you just brought up Paul Heyman a minute ago.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to keep Paul Heyman. Fuck you, man. They're going to keep Paul Heyman off TV until 2014.
To 2014. So yeah, we probably won't see Paul Heyman back until
Brock returns, which is probably going to be at WrestleMania 30.
During the build-up.
They may, yeah. I'm sure. Listen, they're not going to bring Brock back at WrestleMania. They're going to bring him back a couple Raws before that.
Well, because if he's at WrestleMania, it's in a match, because that's part of his contract. Right. He's not going to just have a surprise, unannounced match, unpromoted match.
He'll be on Raw leading up to WrestleMania. I don't think we're going to see him. Maybe a surprise at the Royal Rumble. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think they're going to hold him off until WrestleMania.
Because if he comes back at Rumble, it's kind of hard to have him go away again and then come back again for the Rumble. Real quick, caller, you're on the air. What's on your mind? Caller, you there?
Yes. Hello. There is Chinese buffet calling.
Chinese buffet? What do you got on the menu tonight, brother?
I think it's a sister.
You bad customer. You start talking.
You got the chicken and the rice. What do you got on that menu tonight, bro?
Shrimp fried rice? What do you want?
Shrimp fried rice.
Chicken chow mein.
You come in, you eat way too much.
I love the rice,
you like
bro.
The soy sauce? What are we doing? Fortune cookies?
You're not allowed back anymore.
I'm not allowed back anymore.
Let me ask you this question. Will you love me long time? Get the fuck off my phone.
Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Alright, anyways.
Alright, we go. Rapid fire, baby dolls. Let's do it. If you haven't submitted your rapid fire questions at this point, we gave you over an hour to do so. You're too late.
Better luck next time.
You're going to do
better. The good news is we're about to get to all these rapid fire segments. The bad news is...
Bad news, baby.
If you didn't submit your rapid fire, you're going to have to wait till next week.
Anthony Remy, is it a good idea to unify the WWE titles? I don't think so, brother. I think that we need a title. My feeling is, and this has always been WWE's feeling, we need a title on Raw and SmackDown live events. We had this argument or debate last week where I feel like if you go to a WWE live event, whether it be a Raw or a SmackDown, the main event should be for a title.
But that's if the titles mean a lot, and they don't really mean anything. So it's just like, but did you see the lineups? They're doing 2 separate tours. One's called John Cena, Randy Orton, and Friends.
Is it?
And the other's
John Cena, Randy Orton, and Friends.
And this is the name of the title of the tour. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Friends is the other one. Did you see the lineups?
No, but are they equaled out?
Well, the point is, Cena and Orton are big names. You agree?
Yeah, no doubt.
And the title's on that side.
Okay.
But then on the CM Punk, Daniel Bryan and Friends, you got the Wyatt family, the Shield, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan. I think that's enough.
It evens out.
To buy, I'd buy a ticket to that show before the title show.
All right, no doubt.
So I think that it's like A, and it's no longer A, B shows.
You're right. You're right. I just feel like the main event should have a WWE or some sort of main title defended on it, and one of those shows, the Wyatt, Shield, and Friends tour, is not going to have a main title.
The title isn't important if they don't make the titles important. Real quick also, while we're on the title thing, and then we will fly through these.
Yes.
What do you think of the name? Because they had a poll on the WWE app for Raw on Monday, and they said you could either be the unified champion of WWE, the undisputed WWE champion, or the undisputed world champion. They went according to the fans' vote, with the unified champion.
Now, I think they're going to call it the unified WWE champion.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
No.
They said unified champion of WWE, but they're going to do...
I think they're going to do the unified WWE champion.
What do you think of that name, though?
The unified WWE champion?
With the name they're going with, yeah, the unified WWE champion.
I would say, why not the WWE World Champion?
I don't like unified WWE champion because after 6 months from now, when it's no longer, all right, we just took 2 titles and unified them, you're still calling it a unified title.
Right. That
whereas
doesn't make any
it should
sense.
be undisputed because it means there's no dispute. This is
Why
the
not?
champion.
Okay, if you're... but think about this. You're in WWE, so WWE, you go all over the world, WWE World Champion.
Yeah.
Why not that?
No, it would be WWE World Champion or the World
WWE, but take unified out of it.
My point is, I think undisputed should be in there. The thing that scares me is if they're going to call it the unified, that means maybe sometime down the line
they may split them
it's
apart
not
again.
unified anymore.
Right.
My opinion. Caller, you're on. Sorry, caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, TWKUSN from the chat room. Something just popped into my head. Do you think that maybe them teasing the unification of the titles is also another way to bring back Jericho?
Thanks for the call. Not really.
I don't think so.
I mean, because obviously what he's referencing is Jericho was the first
ever
undisputed. He had his new podcast debut, by the way, on podcast.
You said
One.
it sucked, man.
I didn't say it
good.
sucked. I said it's not. I had high expectations. I thought him being a big rock and roll guy, with me and he a big radio guy.
Right.
He's done a lot of interviews, and every time I've heard him interviewed, he's always a great guest.
Right.
He wasn't a great interviewer.
Putting on the fake laugh.
It was very phony.
Yeah.
Yeah, his
He
commercial.
had Austin on the show, right?
He did, yeah.
Okay.
And I think it was only a part 1, so there'll probably be a part 2. And Austin was great as a guest.
Yeah.
But I've been listening to a lot of Austin lately.
Yeah.
Because he had, can I say names? Or I won't say names. He
No,
had
go ahead.
Wade Keller, Dave Meltzer was on his show recently. And then he went and did their shows. So I've heard those 4, and I always listen to Austin shows anyway.
Well, you've always said that the Austin podcast is awesome.
It's awesome.
Is it?
It's great. Yeah. But like Dusty Rhodes, Daniel Bryan, he's had all these big guys on. So I've been listening to a lot of Austin lately.
Right.
So you hear the same shit over and over. And Jericho didn't get anything different out of him than any.
So Austin's a way better host than Jericho.
I believe
and they've
so.
Been on
I mean, to be fair, Austin's had a lot more. What's the word I'm looking for? Experience. Experience. A lot more experience doing the podcast on a regular basis.
I don't think so. Jericho's had a lot more experience because he's had the Sirius XM radio show.
Exactly.
So Jericho should be the better.
But consistently now, it's been a while since Jericho had the Sirius thing,
True.
I guess. And podcasts are different because he was by himself. He had no co-host. He had no.
That's true. But it's hard to fall back if somebody's not there.
Yeah,
like me and you.
Believe
you
me,
know
I
what
know.
I mean?
People forget I started this show.
I know.
10, 12, 15, not even.
And then you quit, and Clark kept it going, baby. Clark kept it going.
You got T-shirts and websites, and you took it to the next level. But for a while, I did it by myself, and it's not as fun as having somebody to
it's tough.
bounce back.
Well, it used to be you and I now, and then you and Cook. Was it Cook?
No Cook. It was just me for a while. Ironhouse did it once or twice with me, but then I would do it. I was calling it the WZR hotline or the WZ hotline or something like that.
WZ hotline, something.
And then I decided I wanted to actually make it a show, and me and you were talking a lot on Instant Messenger at the time, and we seemed to have the similar.
We connected.
A similar sensibility, like a similar comedic sense of humor,
right?
And a similar knowledge or a similar enjoyment of
How long
wrestling.
have you and I been doing this?
This show?
Yeah,
we started in 2000.
10 years? More than that.
That's 13 years. That's going on 14 years.
13 years.
Almost 14.
Boone and Clark, man.
On the air, 14 years. You know what I mean? We've been friends for 15, but yeah, I'll drink to that.
I'll give you a pound. You want a pound?
All right.
That deserves a little silence, dude.
Let that settle
years.
in. But no, point being is, it's very hard to do a show without somebody to fucking pick up where.
I've done it. I mean, when we were doing the radio show,
and that's why you paid me to come back.
There were times.
You said, dude, I can't do this by myself, man. He said it's fucking too hard.
This fucking guy.
Yeah, I just admitted it was too hard when I did it by myself.
No, there's been times. I mean, when we were doing the radio show and your phone would cut out, you were having all the phone issues, and I'd be left there hanging for dead.
I'd be drunk and hang up and be like, "Yo, my phone had it."
Yeah. Dude, you're an ass. But I mean, I would be there with nobody to fall back on, and like, man, I think I'm sucking, bro. I'm doing terrible right now because I got you there.
Yeah.
All right, let's get through them quick, brother. Let's do it.
So I'm up next here. Christopher Brown, what do you consider among the current worst gimmicks in WWE today? I consider 3MB, Fandango, and Los Matadores among them personally. By the way, Boone, on Sunday, you might want to start looking over your shoulder. On Sunday, I might want to start looking over my shoulder.
Chicago Thunder?
Oh, he must be. Okay.
Is that what it is?
I
guess.
guess.
Might be that.
I don't know.
It might be that.
But worst gimmicks, I would say those are
3MB is terrible.
I thought you liked 3MB. You always liked the one-man band when Heath Slater was...
I like the Heath Slater and the I'm a one-man band. Yeah, that stuff. But Fandango, I don't know. That's not a
it started off so fucking... It had so much
hot,
potential.
hot,
yeah,
right.
And then it just went nowhere. By the way, there's the trademark issue going on.
You're right
with
Fandango.
Fandango.
Fandango.com is a ticket-selling website,
for
right?
Movie
They're having a
tickets,
lawsuit.
yeah, or something, yeah.
Mac McCall, bro, we gotta get PWSforums.com fixed.
Is it
bro.
still down?
Gotta get that fixed, man. It's been
jeez.
down for about a month, man. We need to get that fixed. Drew McIntyre got his green card. Do you think he will finally get a push? You know, there was talk of splitting off Drew McIntyre from 3MB.
They were teasing it.
Yeah.
On Twitter, on WWE.com.
Where's Drew McIntyre or something
They even
like
mentioned
that.
it on Raw a few times. Yeah, where's Drew?
I think Drew McIntyre's got a lot of potential given the right gimmick, but right now he's stuck in that 3MB gimmick.
He's definitely got potential, and for a while he was like the Vince McMahon darling. Like Vince McMahon saw a star.
Loved him.
Yeah.
Loved him.
And
He was the chosen one, was the
Yeah,
gimmick, right?
exactly.
Yeah, man.
Chad Helton says, will 3MB, got a lot of 3MB shit
Jeez,
tonight.
what's up with
Will
this, man?
3MB ever be more than a modern-day job squad? No, not as a group.
Not as a group.
No.
Not as a group. I mean, you could take those guys out. I think Jinder Mahal would have some potential.
No, that's the one out of the three I say never does that.
Slater's got nothing, bro.
I'd say Heath Slater could be a mid-card guy that sticks around for a while.
I'd say
comedy.
Heath Slater's going to be
Listen, if
Ginger,
Santino could stay on the
Ginger.
roster for 10 years...
Were we talking about Gingers?
You mentioned Ginger, yeah.
Santino Marella, I mean...
No, if Santino could stick around that long, and I'm not putting Heath Slater on Santino's level by any means, but I'm just saying he could be that kind of a mid-card act. He could fill that... hey, WWE needs that fucking spot filled, too.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's as good as anybody else. The goofy fucking guy that can have good matches. But Judge Drew, I agree.
think he's got great great
Charisma?
mic skills.
Oh.
Mic skills. Well,
Mic
charisma
skills?
too, bro.
I'd give him the charisma more than the mic skills. I don't think
Right.
his promos are particularly, great. But
All right. Ryan Shoptaw man in the chat room.
Shoptaw man.
Loyal.
all right, now
man.
I know his first name.
Did you get to see the Ultimate Fighter 18 finale?
Yeah, we did.
If so, what did you guys think of the Jared Rosalt? Is that
I forget it. I think it's Rushhold.
against Walt Harris fight? Well, the only one that I was really interested in was the main event of
Yeah.
Gray Maynard and.
We didn't watch the
Diaz.
season, so that wasn't part of the season though. That was just a non.
P.S. I went to high school in Oklahoma with Rosalt and graduated with his little brother.
Rushhold.
Also, any updates on when AJ Styles could be back on Impact? We had the caller call up just a couple of minutes ago, said that AJ is back.
Yeah, I know
at
Rushhold.
the Impact
He was an
Games.
amateur wrestler. Blah 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 blah. He's really
Okay.
good at that. But I forgot to say his name.
Went to high
I forget
school
it.
with him.
Apparently, but
Okay.
yeah, AJ Styles. If you want to know what happened, TNA Wrestling News.
We're gonna have him up as soon as
.com.
as soon as we go off the air here tonight, guys.
Can you tell we're getting a little drunk here at the end of the show?
I am. I'm kind of trying not to slur my words here with the S's.
The chat was
You know
already
what I mean?
pointed out. They're not.
Were they? Oh man.
We're getting loud and
All right,
and
all right.
annoying. But
What do you got here,
Michael Benitez says, will Jim Ross be at WrestleMania 30 and call a match? No.
No, not gonna happen.
Not even close, no.
Jason Shepard, where's the invite to be a guest star on WZR? 518-712-3070. Where you
Anybody's
at, brother?
welcome to be a star.
Where you
Probably
at?
Come fucking meet up with us in New York City, by the way.
Yeah.
December 14th.
December 14th.
Beer's on him, not me. Tim Krieger, first off, that was too many. Coming up in hour number 2 in a few minutes, etc., guys. Come on. If
That was-
Umico... Yeah, real quick, because this is a different question.
There was
we
a
agreed.
long list. Too much news. Even during the
agreed.
break.
The idea is to play some music, give you a preview tease before we go to the commercial so that you know kind of what we're going to talk about coming out of the break.
Right.
We had too many things listed.
Way too much news.
Yeah, that
it's not
took
going
up
to be
way
like
more
that.
time.
And that's why we're running long tonight, because of the rapid fire.
Yeah.
There was just way too much news this past week. We'll shorten it to some of the bigger things.
Let us
and
know
then-
in the feedback, though. Did you like that style? Like, let's say we did half that, like that, what we did, but half as long.
Right.
Would that be kind of a? That seemed like a.
Do you like this?
Thing.
Do you like this format better?
Instead of Raw,
where instead of Raw in hour number 1, in hour number 2, where we run down all the news. Do you like this better, or should we go back to doing Raw every week?
All right. And the second question is if Hunico permanently becomes Sin Cara, how do you think they will split him and Camacho, or will they release him? And where the hell is Reggie?
Who knows about Camacho, right?
I always get Hunico and Camacho Primo Epico confused, but now that they're Los Matadores, I don't.
Yeah.
But I could give two shits. No offense to the gentleman in particular, but like I didn't even notice they were gone or anything. I couldn't even remember a time I've seen them on TV. To be honest with you.
No, it's been a long time, man. Hunico and Camacho. Yeah.
Where's Reggie?
Reggie?
He's out there somewhere.
No, Reggie's out there. Stephen Grabayek, what do you think? Stephen Grabayek.
The joke guy.
What was the joke? Toot.
Yeah.
What do you call a
farter? Yeah, a guy that farts in public. Or no, a guy that.
What do you call a guy that farts in public?
A guy that doesn't fart in public.
Doesn't fart in public.
A private tutor.
Something
like that.
Private tutor.
Yeah. I butchered your joke there, sir.
What do you think? Who do you think will get inducted into this year's WWE Hall of Fame?
Hashtag nacho cheese.
Hall of Fame.
Randy Savage.
This year?
Why not? WrestleMania 30, milestone number.
I'm going to go something crazy.
Okay.
Milestone number, WrestleMania 30, Ultimate Warrior.
Really?
Ultimate Warrior.
Is Rick Rude, can you bring the chat up real quick? Is Ravishing Rick Rude in the Hall of Fame? Because I could swear he's not. And if he's not, that's crazy to me.
I don't think he is. I'm going to say Warrior, though. He was in the WWE 2K14 video game.
Yeah.
As far as, legends were concerned.
Yeah.
Why not this year?
Okay, so Ravishing Rick Rude is not in the Hall of Fame. I think it's because he screwed WWE on some negotiations. If anybody remembers, he's actually, other than X-Pac, the only person that can say they were in both NWO and DX. And he's the only person that can say he appeared on Raw and Nitro on the same night at the same time.
You're right.
Raw was taped.
Yeah.
And he screwed WWE, committed to him verbally that he'd stay, signed with WCW at the 25th hour, 24, whatever that saying is, and then appeared on Nitro live at the same time that his tape segment on Raw was airing.
You're right. They set it up so it was on both shows.
Maybe WWE holds a grudge, and also he died, I think, of an overdose. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was drug related.
Yeah,
I don't think they want to induct somebody for that.
Caller, you're on the air. I'm a little nervous. You got a black call. What's on your mind?
Oh, nothing crazy, man. I just had a quick question. I seen you guys had the SmackDown ratings and the Raw ratings up.
Okay.
I was just wondering, maybe they should have SmackDown live like they do on Monday Night Raw, and you guys come on Wednesdays because you guys are doing a good job today.
Hey, thank you very much.
Another quick question. Whatever happened to the primetime players after Dude was announced that he's gay? I ain't heard nothing from him.
Good point.
I'm going to let y'all say something about that, and I'll get off the phone.
All right, thanks for the call. Thanks for the questions. Great questions.
I'll tell you what. You know what? I had said it. Well, go ahead.
They were on Raw, and they did the match that you said was a good match with the Real Americans on Monday.
I had said.
And Titus O'Neil seems to be getting a push, and Darren Young's kind of getting...
I said back
a phase to the background
months ago when Darren Young came out. And we've seen Titus O'Neil.
Real quick before you go into your point. Darren Young's the gay one. Take aside whether he takes a dick in the ass or or whether he likes the fucking the pink meat. What I'm telling you is you could look at both of those guys, take their sexual orientation out of the equation.
Right.
Titus O'Neil has
can be a star
written all over him.
No doubt.
Darren Young doesn't.
Darren Young doesn't. But I had said months ago, I said when Darren Young first came out of the closet in the TMZ.com interview, they put the video up. I had said
archived as proof.
I had said that over the next couple of weeks, because Darren Young had just come out of the closet,
he'll get the push at first.
They are going to push him. They're going to put him all over TV. They're going to get the wins. And Darren Young would wind up getting the pin all the time, right? And then I said, you watch, in a couple of months, after the media dies down, Darren Young is going to be off TV. And sure enough, WWE, I mean, listen, I have no problem whatsoever with gay people. It's your sexual preference, whatever floats your boat, okay? But WWE, you come out of the closet, and while the media attention is hot, they're going to put them all over TV. They're going to show them, we're giving this guy wins. We're not prejudiced. We're not biased against this guy. And sure enough, now we don't see him anymore because the media attention's died down, and WWE looks down upon that shit. They do. I know it sounds terrible for me to say, but the proof is in the pudding, man. We don't see him anymore.
A, did you know that anytime we make a sex joke, that's part of the drinking game?
It is?
That's what they said. B, when the saying, the proof is in the... And you're probably the wrong guy to ask because you probably won't know the answer.
The proof is in the pudding.
Is it pudding or pudding?
Pudding.
Pudding?
Like the stuff you eat.
Pudding.
Pudding.
The chat room, can you back that up? Is it the proof is in the pudding or the pudding?
Pudding. The stuff you eat.
Pudding. Okay, but is it because of the stuff you eat? The proof is in the stuff you eat?
The proof is in the pudding. I don't know the exact saying, but the proof is in the pudding, where you take the little thing and you put the spoon.
It would make more sense the proof is in the pudding, like you show me, you put it.
Pudding, you're right. No, you're right.
Let's see the rapid fire, let's get these.
Alright, let's get them out of the way here.
You're right, he called me a dumb shit, I should know that, I'm a writer.
Alright, let's see, Jason Hansen, UFC, this is you.
It's a fucking small book, hold on, it's all...
I'm sorry.
Half the words are fucking blurry here.
Oh, yeah. You know what? The laptop fucks up with that.
Oh, I thought it was because it was tilted.
Nah, it's the laptop, man.
Jason Hansen says, with the UFC heavyweight division on fire, who do you think can possibly dethrone the current reigning and defending champion Cain Velasquez? Could it be a guy like Travis Brown? Could it be Josh Barnett? Or what about Alistar Overstream?
Alistar Overstream.
If he can rack up, see, that's the kind of joke that if nobody saw us before, what the fuck are they doing?
What are you talking about?
Not to mention we're drunk and talking loud. And being
By the way, that caller that said, "Hey man, SmackDown could go live every Tuesday. We could do it with." He sounds like a new person.
And he
so
seems
that's
to
awesome.
dig it. You know.
Every Tuesday night, man, 8 to 10
He seemed to dig the vibe.
And thank you for the support too, man.
And the compliment.
The more new fans, the more the word spreads about WZR.
As far as ratings, though,
respect,
you're talking about the ratings. I don't think it would affect the ratings that much at all.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyways, could it defending or dethroning, I should say, Velasquez?
So who's going to take
Brown,
out
Barnett, Alistar Overstream? If he can rack up some wins, in my opinion, if anybody can KO Velasquez, again, it will be Junior Dos Santos. But he needs a better game plan to avoid Cain's clinch. Thanks for taking my question. P.S. Did you notice all the makeup on that hag Dixie? Stephanie is greater than Botoxy.
Botox.
That's not what you're talking about. He said Stephanie's
he says Stephanie's hotter than Dixie.
Wearing a lot of makeup.
And everybody's got this ongoing joke that Ryan Clark bangs Dixie Carter. Because
really?
I talked to her on Twitter. I talked to her on Twitter. It's another joke.
Hey everybody, Dixie Carter talked about me.
You both get him.
That's another one. Yeah, if people are tuning in now. Like,
Alright.
Oh God, turn this shit
off.
So
who's beating Velasquez, bro?
Who's beating Velasquez?
I say Dos Santos, if anybody.
Dos Santos ain't even gonna get a shot for years.
Okay.
So if anybody can beat him, who's the guy? The answer is nobody.
We are way late tonight. Jordan Paul Paveo. Are Brodus Clay and Miz heels or baby faces? Now Miz is on a heel turn, and Brodus Clay is
Overeem could catch him if they split up. But yeah,
Brodus Clay is kind of.
Brodus Clay's starting to break up with the.
Looked like it last night.
Yeah,
so
right? He's turning heel, and Miz smacked Kofi again, so they're finally turning because Christmas Bounty. I think they were just waiting. Yeah, well, they can still hear.
Sorry about that,
guys.
There's
more noise moving around.
Sorry about that.
No, they remember when we had talked about Christmas Bounty. They didn't want to turn him heel, and they actually. I don't think we mentioned this on the air. WWE had not so much admitted, but the story came out that they
completely forgot
that
about
Christmas Bounty was coming out, and that they were starting to turn him heel before realizing they don't want to heel in a feel-good Christmas family ABC family presentation movie. Turning, so they waited, and now they're doing the heel turn. It looks like because it's aired and it's over with.
Now that it's done, right? Exactly.
It's all fucking blurry again. Brian J. Brown, hey guys, I'm writing again this week about Daniel Bryan. I have no doubt that Bryan is joining the Wyatts. I just can't see two similarly billed handicap matches at the pay-per-view ending without a twist. That's a good point. I really do feel that creative will do what they can to keep Bryan out of the big picture, for the moment anyway. My question this week is, I've noticed previous posts on this site and other sites about Chris Benoit's son, Daniel. Is it Daniel Benoit?
Daniel Benoit.
Daniel Benoit is interested in joining WWE. Do you think they'd even give the kid a chance, considering the more or less act as if Benoit never existed. I don't know what that's supposed to say.
It's basically
considering the fact they more or less act as if Benoit never existed.
Daniel Benoit to WWE. I mean, of course they could give him a gimmick name,
but the media would pick up
and never even mention that he's Chris Benoit's son. I mean, they've never mentioned that this is the son of Chris Benoit on TV, like they do with
the
Axel.
The marks would know, and they would chant.
The media would they would chant
in the arena.
The media would pick up on it.
It would be
not going to happen,
and it's kind of a shame because he didn't do anything wrong.
He didn't, and he's kind of
and now he's being punished because of it. Like if it's his fucking dream to be a wrestler, which it seems like it is, the only place to be a star in wrestling really is WWE, and he has. No matter how hard he works, how good he is, how hard he tries,
he's kind of blacklisted.
There's nothing he can do because of something that. That's a fucking shame.
It is, man. All because of his father, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Matt Johnson, Daniel Bryan's current storyline with the Wyatt family makes perfect sense. I mean, they've explained Daniel Bryan being left in the parking lot on numerous shows and also online interviews. See, it just cleared up out of nowhere. Why does it do that? It just cleared up.
Oh, it did. Look at that.
Right? They've mentioned, Daniel Bryan being kidnapped, everything else.
I think he's telling you you're wrong.
Somebody in the chat said maybe Bryan and Wyatt family can become faces, which can lead to a 3-on-1 with the Shield, Wyatts, and Bryan chasing the title by potentially winning the Rumble. Is that possible?
Listen to me when I say this. Oh, I just changed my mind. No, because Roman Reigns just screams babyface.
Reigns does,
but Ambrose and Rollins do not at all.
No.
Meanwhile, the Wyatt family, they could easily be baby faces, in my opinion.
Wyatt, I see Bray Wyatt as a heel.
He's a great heel, and he should be a heel. But if and you got to think if they're going to do Wyatt versus Shield, which is the plan for WrestleMania or a tentative plan,
right?
You would think one of them's got to turn so that it's not a straight heel,
right?
Although I guess you don't really need to.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I could see Dean Ambrose as a babyface.
No,
I could see
in the future he's got to start as a heel.
Not right now.
He's got to start as a heel in a singles and then transit. He can't.
No doubt.
Because only one guy can break out of the Shield as a babyface. Like, I'm fed up with you two, and that's Roman Reigns. They've already planted the seed.
No doubt.
And he's the obvious.
I'm saying keep Dean Ambrose as a complete heel right now, but in the future. I could see Dean Ambrose as
he seems like a multi-talented guy that can pretty much do it all. Like he reminds me of Jericho.
Yeah,
Jericho's a great heel and he's a great baby.
Great talker,
great worker. Yep. Fucking marks love him. Yep. Casual fans love him. He's just got that it thing to where he screams, talent.
I'm saying Ambrose has definitely got to stay a heel right now, without question.
And when the Shield breaks up, he's got to be a heel, or he's still got to be. He's going to sink quickly.
Roman Reigns has got to break off and be the babyface, no doubt. And then Rollins and Ambrose stay the heels. But in the future, I'm talking like a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, Dean Ambrose can be a good babyface.
And while we're talking about it really quick, because I know we're way late, Seth Rollins, I'm scared to death for him when the Shield breaks up. And what makes me sad,
I know,
is he is so fucking good
in the
ring, not just with his matches, his personality.
Yeah.
Come on, Goldust.
Right.
That kind of sounds like a man. Come on, Goldust.
Sound like Dean Ambrose.
Get up, Goldust.
Sound like Dean Ambrose.
And he's fucking talking shit while he's doing stuff, and it sounds so cool. And it's like, yo, that fucking guy is awesome.
And he's an
amazing worker.
Right.
But
when the Shield breaks up,
when they break up, he's screwed.
Yep.
What the fuck is he gonna do?
I agree.
Poor son bitch.
Let's see, Jose Lewis, will Bryan Parker ever get unblocked? Who's Bryan Parker?
Oh, you blocked him on Facebook because he was talking shit about you a lot.
Bryan Parker?
Not so much talking shit about you, but like talking shit for the sake of talking shit. Not disagreeing with you. I remember his icon. It was like, I think it was the CM Punk logo or something like that.
I'll have to go through my block list. I don't even know where to find the block list. Do you know where to find the block list on Facebook?
I have blocked
no idea.
2 people in my life. One of them's one of your good friends because he got on my fucking nerves the other night. And the other one's a supposed gangster.
I got a block too, bro.
The other one's a supposed gangster with the same name as a dinosaur. In the
yes, I know. I know. But, I'll go through my block list. I gotta find it. It's on here somewhere.
He's doing life in jail anyway. So
Jay Mullen.
He can't do nothing. Jay Mullen. Do you have any updates on Samurai Del Sol?
We just put it on.
How do you say that?
Samurai Del Sol.
Samurai.
We just put it on the website. There are 2 WWE NXT talents that are looking to be called up to the main roster. Those being the guy you just mentioned and Bo Dallas. When that happens, probably early 2014. Not confirmed, but they are ready to go and be called up. So we'll see what happens.
Samurai reminds me of something. This fucking guy. He says, "Oh no, he always blames it when he screws up a word on his New York accent." The other day we're talking about the word sensei, and he says, "No, it's sensei." I said, "What are you talking about, sensei? It's sensei. Yes, sensei. That kind of thing." He says, "No, it's sensei." And then you asked your sister, and I guess she agreed, and all of a sudden, "Oh no, see, even Allison says it's sensei." Ask the chat room real quick so we can have some public opinion. Sensei? Sensei. If you would, please. You gotta kill me for this when we get off the air.
I gotta go pee.
He's gotta go pee. We got 3 more or 4 more. Let me see the chat room real quick. What
There's a lot more. Look at them all.
Oh, we'll get to them. Here, come on. I got nowhere to go.
What?
Sensei. Boone is right. Sensei.
It's the New York accent.
There's nothing to do with an accent.
I blamed it on the New York accent. He says right there it's the New York accent.
No, he said no. That's not a New York accent.
Oh man.
Let me hear it.
Sensei.
No. Sensei. Now, who was right and who was wrong is my question to you, to be honest with you. Look into the camera when you say it if you don't mind.
Matt Boone was right.
That's me.
I was wrong.
He was wrong. You said that in a very gay way. I knew the chop was coming. I promise you I knew the chop was coming.
Damn it, man.
Alright, let's do the
Alright, let's do it. Let's see here. Paulie Malignaggi. This is from Gurjap Kalan.
Where are you at?
Paulie Malignaggi versus Zab Judah, and Devin Alexander versus Sean Porter, and Austin Trout versus
good luck.
Arislandi Lara, and HBO same day, James Kirkland returns facing Glenn Tapia. Who you got? Are you serious, bro? There's a lot of fights right there.
Paulie Malignaggi and Zab Judah is the only one I give a shit about.
Right, that's the best one.
Austin Trout I like, but I don't know who the fuck that guy is fighting there. So,
yeah,
I got Judah. No, I got Malignaggi over Judah.
I'll take Judah.
I'll take Malignaggi.
All right, no doubt. I'll bet you on that. Andy Lawler, A plus show.
Oh, A. Like Fonzie.
Oh, here we go. Vincent Nugent with 3 essays in a row.
Vincent Nugent, a.k.a. Acer. Do you guys get to watch last week's edition of WWE NXT? No.
Nope.
If not, we do. We just don't do it. If not, watch the main event match between Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn. Zayn for the #1 contender. You sure, Sensei? For the #1 contender to the NXT Championship. It's a really great match. Go out and see that match if you guys haven't yet. Trust me, it's really good, and both men poured it out there for sure. Wow.
Tommy
what a colossal waste of time that was.
Will Daniel Bryan ever get the title back, or will they just have him do what they're doing now? Daniel Bryan, everybody wants him to be WWE or World Champion, or whatever they're going to call it. I think they're just fucking the fans, man. I don't
want him to be a champion unless they're going to give him a real run with it.
Right.
Just giving him the belt's not the same as giving him a run.
And then we'll end this on Vincent Nugent.
Ryan and Matt, what do you guys think about the upcoming UFC Fight Night 33 card for this upcoming weekend in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia overall, with the featured main event between Antonio Bigfoot Silva versus Mark Hunt, and both the preliminary and main cards there. We're not going to run down the whole show, but there's 3 fights worth mentioning.
It's a good card.
Actually, 4 fights. Pat Barry versus Sal Palea.
Okay.
Ryan Barry. You said
Ryan Bader.
Ryan Bader. I forget who he's fighting, but he's gonna win that one.
Take Bader.
And then there's Shogun versus James Tahuna.
Shogun.
Agreed. And then the main event, and this is the one we'll split on probably.
Okay.
Bigfoot Silva versus Mark Hunt.
Bigfoot Silva, baby. Bigfoot
I got
Silva.
Bigfoot too. So
and last one from Vincent Nugent. Did you guys watch last week's edition of TNA Impact Wrestling? If so, Mark Hunt?
I thought you even said the other day when we saw the commercial, I'll take Hunt. And I was like, no, I'll take Bigfoot. Then.
No, dude, okay. I'm all about so. I thought you said you liked Hunt.
No, I do like Hunt, right? But I don't like him to win. No.
Oh,
he could knock anybody out, but he's not. I don't think he's gonna do it.
All right, did you guys see last week's TNA Impact? No, we didn't. If so, Well, the rest of the question is invalid.
Yeah.
We didn't see it. But anyway, what'd you guys think of the show overall based on the themed holiday Thanksgiving episode? How about the Aces and Eights funeral say? I didn't say it.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about, but
so
it was great. What?
That's a Wednesday night. That's a Wednesday night.
That's what we call Wednesday.
WZR.
Oh wow,
TV.
we went an extra 35.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta get out of here.
That's how you make it. Listen,
they stuck around.
WZR screws up on a Tuesday night. We give you an extra 35 on a Wednesday just to say I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Now, we drank a few in the process.
And listen, we apologize.
Quite annoying, I'm sure, when we watched the archive.
And you know what the best
for the last
thing is?
45 minutes.
No, we're good. We're killing it.
Okay.
Yes, the chat room. It's been a good show tonight. You like the new format? Let us know. You guys like the new format? Matter of fact, let's put the feedback thread up.
Feedback.
While we're on air. Because
all right.
a lot of times I think
if
we
you
go
can
off
get the
air.
Wi-Fi to work there, but
oh, it works.
We want your feedback. We haven't been plugged into it a lot either. Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's what
please,
it is.
Guys, just do it. It takes 2 seconds.
Oh, please, guys, just
listen. I'm saying, please tell us your. You can tell us we suck. I just want to know specifically what was good and what was bad. Go to Facebook.com. Also put in /. Also put in Ryan Clark WZR. Once you get there, the top post that he's typing right now, click, enter, is going to ask you for your feedback on tonight's WZR TV Wednesday program. Tell us what you liked. Boom, it's up. Tell us what you liked. We'll do more of it. Tell us what you didn't like. We'll do less of it. You see, this is how we custom mold this goddamn program.
Don't be lazy asses either.
Also, Ryan wants me to let you know not to be lazy asses either. So Facebook.com /Ryan Clark WZR. Let us know what you like. We'll do more of it. Let us know what you didn't like. We'll do less of it. Custom molding this some bitch for your needs and wants. I don't know if they need anything, but for your wants, your desires, your wishes. That's our commands. Facebook.com /Ryan Clark WZR. I got nothing to
give
drink.
it up for. You got nothing?
Give me that bottle right there. All right.
You got nothing?
And get your cooties off of it here real quick.
Oh,
all right.
Cooties. He takes it back to high school. We go
Bam. We'll see you next Tuesday.
That's a Wednesday night, brother.
That's a Wednesday.
That's a Wednesday night WZR TV. Listen, once again, we apologize for last night. We tried very hard to go on last night, and it was one thing after another, and finally we just made the decision to say, you know what, this is not gonna it's not gonna work tonight. So we tried to make it up for you tonight. Like Boone said, we gave you an extra 35-40 minutes tonight. We're gonna be back next Tuesday night, WZR TV Tuesday. Look out for the snow by the end of next week. I'm telling you guys, all you guys in the Northeast, it's gonna get cold and it's gonna get snowy,
and you guys care a lot about that.
They do.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
For Matt Boone,
that's me.
Ryan Clark.
That's him.
Saying see you next Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time on WZROnline.com.
Oh, he got me, the motherfucker. Boom. Bastard.